I'm not offering personalized transmissions, no. Do 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 do. Boom. Hello. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. 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 Hello, everyone. Sorry, I had to change the intro because we're not doing personalized stuff today. How art thou? I'm glorious. How are you, iFlash? Thank you for subscribing. How are you feeling? I love that. How art thou? You like my party, Jay? Yeah, I figured why not? I mean, it's pretty much a party in here every day, right? Hey, Shamanic Panda, good to see you again. Hi, the Ruby Jewel. Hi, Lago. Hi, Vanessa. Hola, Angie. Hi, Granny. Hi, Pisces Queen. Good to see you again. How are you feeling? And how are you feeling too, Shamanic Panda? Okay, so you had some crazy dreams last night after your activation. Yeah, I did warn you, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I mentioned that. It usually sticks around. The dream state, the astral state can be quite interesting the next day. Hey, Beauty Marco. Marku. I'm going to butcher usernames, right? I have a hard enough time reading aloud as it is. Hi, Empress. How are you feeling? Yeah, very vivid. Yeah, so we're likely doing a lot of astral work too. So if you want to call it 4D work. Hi, Emma. I'm a grateful being. I like that. Okay. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Bit emotional today. Headaches. Oh, of course, Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've been emotional today and headaches today. Yeah, that can definitely be part of the process of integrating that kind of work, especially if you get received activation. Sometimes we gotta release some stuff. It's always gonna bring up something in some way, but everybody responds differently. Everybody processes it a little bit differently. But hit me up if you're still not feeling good in a couple days, like if you're still feeling it really hard, and we'll see what we can do to assist. I've been good. Thanks, Vanessa. The cat, yeah, he was silly. He was out hard. I think it was because he was sleeping on the plastic and he wouldn't put his head down, and I think he just kind of like would drool. It was the second time I caught him doing that. The first time it kind of tripped me out. Just super vivid color. Oh, beautiful. Hi, Laura. Hi, Sherry. He's good. No, he's totally good, Vanessa. Oh, hi, Sue. You lost your voice due to sinus infection. Ah, wow. Yeah, so stick around. Stick around. We'll see what we can do for you. Hi, Kay. Hi, Lillian. Jess Walker, 234. Oh, I didn't even realize that there's that many people in here. Hello, all 200 people, plus people. Never seen a cat from like that before? I'm not sure I understand. Could use an entire body healing. Yeah, if you're interested, well, I mean, I think we all could. But if you are interested in like a full-on healing, I do offer one-on-ones. Kundalini rising jaw pain, do I have it? Or is that something you're experiencing, Empress? Lucky says, I had some big sacral energy and solar plexus energy last night. That was some big secondhand. Oh, beautiful. From the transmissions that we were doing. Hi from Co. Is that Colorado? It's awesome to have you, Fierce and Tinder. Hi, Blythe. Awesome to have you. What computer background is that? It's actually a custom one that I put up. So it's a video, and then I made it a background. Empress, you're experiencing jaw pain due to Kundalini rising. That's the increase of energy can definitely be intense. Grounding is going to help, and moving that energy too. Like might recommend to try the microcosmic orbit. So placing your awareness like in your third eye, moving it to like the pineal gland, and then moving it down through the spinal column, down through the pranic tube, down to the root, and then back up through the back into the crown, and then just kind of cycling that back, trying to get it with the breathing. breathing up through the back and exhaling down through the front. That can kind of help move that through oftentimes. Hey, you like the vest, Dre? Yeah, thank you. I thought it was pretty cool. How did I start light language healing? Well, first it came kind of bursting out. So I had been doing a lot of energy work already. I'd been around, I'd seen light language, and I didn't really feel like it was going to be my thing. There's so many different expressions of it, and everybody does it a little bit differently. And I had not seen anybody do light language like I do as far as the signing. But what had happened is eventually it got kind of forced out of me. So it was like squeezing my lungs to the point where I actually started making like sounds like, and now I know what those first sounds were. I didn't know what they were when they first came out. They were or something like that. So it was like the first syllables essentially. And then I went through a different dialect like every 10 seconds or something for like hours. And I couldn't even speak English for a bit. And then I had to understand it after that. After it was all done, I was like, what the F just happened? Like, was I possessed? Like, what? Like, it felt like me. I knew it was me, but it sounded like a shit ton of like aliens, and they were singing, and there was like tones and like all sorts of stuff that I just don't do, and it kind of tripped me out. So it took a while for me to kind of understand what it was all about. And then it took time for me to really ground it in from a logical perspective, because I really perceive things from a logical perspective. And this stuff really just goes right into that intuitive side, or the side that recognizes patterns. So it took a little bit for my logic, analytical side, my left hemisphere of my brain to catch up to the right side. But it did. And so now I understand how it works. And that's when I really started to apply it in my healing practices. I was doing healings before I was doing light languages. So it just, as soon as I had my light languages on, it's higher self-integration. So it only helps the work that you're already doing. That makes sense. Hi Casey, it's awesome to see you. Empress says, I was told I'm channeling light codes. They are intense. Grounding. Oh my God. Yeah. Light codes can be very intense, especially when they first start coming out. Been blocked by others for asking what? I didn't see anything worth blocking. I've seen one guy that does similar light language. Deja is his username. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, there's like countless dialects that I express. The one that you hear the most is kind of a mashup. It's going to be a mix of different dialects. It's kind of just like your default, what we call like your soul language. And everybody has a different soul language. It's just kind of your own signature frequency in this experience. And mine evolves, it changes. It's a mix-up. Usually when I'm expressing different light languages, I'm expressing, it's usually a mix. And it's just like having a different functionality. So they're like slightly different specialists and stuff. They're all just different. They're just me. It's just different expressions of energies that sound like different personalities or sound like other beings. They're all just aspects of myself that I've integrated. Light is information. Mimilex. Light is data. So when we talk about light codes, it's a complicated combination of information. And those can be perceived in different ways. So people who are clairvoyant often will see them in, different shapes. Sometimes it's like glyphs. Sometimes, kind of like sigil looking stuff. Sometimes it looks like mandalas. Sometimes it looks like matrixy stuff. So there's different types of light codes, and people perceive those differently. But they can be used for all sorts of things, because light is just information. We are light, right? So it can be used for all sorts of different purposes. How do you open your third eye? Start to use your imagination. Daydream. Come up with a scenario in your mind. That is you using your third eye. A lot of people have certain expectations for what it looks like when you have your third eye open. I think that comes from the internet and everybody on YouTube who thinks, that heard something from someone that heard something from someone, or took some psychedelics and then they thought that they figured it all out, and they didn't do any integration work, and then they start teaching everybody all this stuff. 5 ways to open your third eye. 5 things that happen when your third eye opens. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, opening your third eye, activating your third eye, it's not a big deal. We use our energy centers all the time. Your third eye is your inner sight. You use your third eye, it's an energy center, so bring energy in. If you don't have your third eye open at all, you're gonna have issues in your mind, in your brain. You're gonna be really sick. Something's gonna be going on up there because it's not gonna bring in fresh energy. But I think what people are talking about usually is becoming more clairvoyant, and that's a clair, so being more clear in their vision, their inner vision, or outer vision. The third eye can be for perceiving things outside of yourself as well. So like my third eye vision isn't inside. So I don't see stuff in my mind's eye. I sometimes will see things projected out in the reality in front of me. So if I were to experience like plant medicines, I'm going to see it in front of me and around me, in the space around me. And it comes in like different layers and whatnot. You like you like this gold thing? I like it. It's fancy. Desert says, what do you think about having dreams within dreams? I'm assuming you're asking. I've been having that happen in the last few days. Yeah, you're likely going through different layers of astral experiences. So you're probably getting really close to an astral projection experience or a lucid dream state. And that can happen in those states quite a bit. Before I woke up, I called it my nurse antenna in the hospital. Lucky to be here. That's beautiful. Nurse, your nurse antenna. That's beautiful. I'm happy that you're here, Lisa. Hopefully, we'll do some energy work and you'll feel a little bit better. What if you have a vivid imagination? Yeah, your third eye is good. But then it's really about your understandings too. So learning how to interface with other frequency ranges, because it's what you're tuning into. So you can learn to tune in using your third eye. For example, what you can do is just a really simple exercise to begin to use your third eye in a practical way, is in your mind's eye, bring up an image of just like an outline. So it could be like this. So just like an outline of a dude like this, you know? You doesn't have to have details. It can just be something like this. Bring up an image of something like this in your mind. And then you're gonna use quantum entanglement to entangle it with who you are. So you're gonna say, hey, this is my hologram. This is my proxy or whatever. This represents me. This is the proxy of Ty. This is the proxy of Ty. This is the proxy of Ty. You're entangling it in your mind's eye. And then you're gonna ask, show me something I don't know that can help me heal right now. And just watch what happens. You might see stuff pop up. You can ask specific questions like, please show me something about, whatever X issue that would help me learn to heal it, right? You can bring up these different things. Just observe what happens. When you're done, just make sure you scrub out your hologram. Just unentangle it. I'm usually very skeptical, but I get a different vibe from you. Your energy is different. I appreciate that. I actually appreciate skepticalness, being skepticalness. I actually appreciate it. I've been there, I'm pretty skeptical. I'm not skeptical anymore, really. I don't really have limiting beliefs, or I believe everything is possible. So that's where I start from. And then I have to figure out how it works to get us there. But yeah, I appreciate that. Skepticism, that's right. I appreciate that, everybody. I had that. It's just 3D brain, not always work. How's everybody feeling? Casey, your comments are getting filtered. They might be. I'm not sure what you said. I'm also not looking at the comments. When I'm talking, I'm not looking at the comments, and they go by. I don't pay a ton of attention at the comments until I'm between thoughts. Otherwise, I'll forget my thoughts. My brain, I've got ADHD, like a mofo, if you want to consider it, whatever labels it is. So yeah, please don't take offense. If you're really trying to get my attention for something, you can just like copy and paste it, or just ask again, and then I'll do my best to get to it if it's relevant. Hi, Anna, how are you? I'm feeling good. Yeah, not too bad. Just hanging out. Friday Night Lights. Yeah. For those that were here yesterday, yeah. How are you feeling? Make sure you're drinking lots of water. If you can get out in nature at all, that's going to be super helpful. Because we're not joking when I say drink water. and really taking care of yourself, just like taking it easy, especially if you're there the whole 3 hours. It was 3 hours. So we did a lot of energy work, and there was a lot of spillover. But we're going to do some more energy work tonight as well. Just being on the live, you feel your vibration getting better. That's beautiful. Yeah, so we do set up a container to work in. So anytime that I do a live, I set up some architecture, which is just containers of frequency that just kind of hold space. I set up my own space for that, but I also do some stuff around the phone and the container that we're all in the quantum field, because we're not just here in the physical. When we're all connected like this, we're all entangled in a certain way. It's like we're in this big kind of like classroom situation in our consciousness fields. Oh no, Casey, oh, I'm sorry about that. I will be doing more, so hopefully you can jump on, or I can do it remotely too, or I can just send it, like, let you know when I'm going to start it. But the next time we jump on, I can always do that too, like the next live where I do that. So here it is, spider season in MD right now. Going outside is sketchy. I like spider. I don't know if I've ever not been into, I mean, I definitely remember when I was like, kind of like not fearful of them, but just definitely didn't want to be involved with them. But now I don't care. Like I actually like them. And I like leave the ones that are above my doorway, that I leave their webs up all the time. And I'm tall enough that I walk through it like every dang day. I forget, it goes right through my hair, and I'm just like, and the first thing I do is I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but come on guys, like every day, like it's the same spot. Like I feel, it's because I feel bad because I know they remake their web, and I'm like, this is not the spot to do that. Or I see them walking around, and the only thing I worry about is like my cat, because I'm like, well, if you're in the house, Malik's gonna get you probably, you know, he's probably gonna come up and play with you. He's gonna bop you until you're not able to walk anymore. Is your third eye your imagination? Angel, yeah, that is one way to interface with your third eye. Yeah, there's a huge spectrum to how our spiritual vision can work. There's so many different ways of perceiving, and it can get stronger and stronger and stronger. I know people who have incredible third eye sight, if you want to call it third eye sight. They're very clairvoyant, and you know, they kind of thought they already are. They've got it already topped out. You know, they thought they could already see enough because they could see all sorts of stuff, and that's why I always like to go to them. And I got a chance to work on them, and it just got stronger. And they're like, now I'm seeing all this stuff. Like it was like instant too. Like, holy cow, I can see this and this, and now this is more 3D. It was only more, I guess it was more 2D before. Now everything has shape and like depth, and yeah, visualization is very powerful. Your imagination is very, very powerful. Your imagination is real. It's like cheat codes to me. Like if I had access to my imagination, like there's so much I would do. There's so much I would do. It just to me it sounds like a superpower. I can see, like, for example, a way that I see with my third eye too is like when my eyes are closed, I can look in the space around me and I can see my hand and my arm. Sometime in the past, when I was like, I was going through a certain period, I was really kind of like wide open, and I wasn't like as activated, so there wasn't as much pressure in my nervous system, so it wasn't as difficult to kind of tune in because there's so much pressure on my nervous system. So now I can see it, but I have to move it kind of. Like I can see the etheric field a bit, and there's not really details. It's kind of like a softness, and if I move it, I can see where it moves and stuff like that a bit. But it used to be I could see it just like a perfect, not perfect, but like a fuzzy white. Like I could see it really good. I could see the outline of people. I was guessing their etheric field. Like I can see stuff walking around. I could sometimes see things that weren't in the physical, but it was like very connected to the physical. So I was seeing like the fields of people, almost like their aura, but like a certain layer of their aura. It's kind of hard to describe. I honestly don't know. But that's one way of seeing with your third eye too. And then there's other ways of, seeing actually with your mind's eye. Like I've experienced a couple times on plant medicine. So I know what it's like. I just don't have access to it. And I apologize if I miss your comments or your messages because I look around when I talk. So what does it mean when you can see light codes come from the sun? Well, the sun transmits light codes. That's what it does. The sun, light, remember, light is data, light is information. All light is code. You're just seeing more complicated combinations of light. And that's what the job of the sun really is to really like send out all sorts of light codes. So it's beautiful. Can I do a tattoo tour on my arm? I could do that. The answer is yes, I could. I'm just kidding. Yeah, okay, so let's see. Yeah, aura reading's not really my bag. You know, I can see like people's energy fields. I can see stuff sometimes. If I can tune into it, so I can make it stronger and stronger if I like sit and like, you know, just like anything, you like tune into it. It's like zooming into those certain frequency ranges. So I can sit there and I can actually make it stronger and stronger, so I can actually begin to see the aura really well. But I don't see it like other people do. I would never be an aura reader. Like I can sometimes see the colors like in the emotional layer, but for the most part, I just see it like the physical layer, so I can see the glow of the physical layer. So like if somebody's really healthy and they work out a lot, I can really see it on them. People who work out, their auras are always brighter. I mean, if there's two healers, well, not I don't want to say always because that's not true, but for the most part, like, and for the muggle, I'm just gonna say the muggles. The people that are healthy physically, their auras are so much brighter, and when people get excited, it just glows out. So I see like that glow that you would see, you know, in like posters and, you know, paintings or whatever. But some people really see the aura, and they can see different layers of the aura, and they can see details in the aura. You know, they can tune into future, past, all sorts of stuff in the aura. The aura is our energy field, and you know, there's so much in there. It's a projection of our consciousness in that now moment. So what's relevant in that now moment? So a lot of times people will see past lives coming in, or spirits in certain layers, Akashic field is further out, you know. Oh, some comments were filtered to protect the community's experience. So some comments are getting filtered. What's important. God, I can't speak all of a sudden. What's important, Rinzuf, is that you recognize as well is that, okay, we might have a signature frequency color, right? So our signature core frequency might have a color, right? Because everything is frequency, and that can be translated into a visual color. And that's not always translatable into human colors. But as far as like our energy field in the physical, our physical like expression of our aura, it comes in different layers, and they'll have different colors in different areas of your body. You might have a different color around your head than you would around your shoulders and your arms or your hands. It can vary quite a bit. So, and that has to do with your emotional state, your mental, your emotional state, what's going on in your astral layers, what's going on physically. Those all affect your aura, and that's why aura readers can be really beneficial for people, because they can see what's going on in a really, you know, immediate and practical way. But yeah, it varies. But yeah, if you are interested in that, I know people who that's what they do is aura reading. I think I have a picture. I didn't. Or reading. I got a spirit guide reading. Let's see. So like this is somebody did this reading for me. So a friend of mine who does light language, obviously she does light language, but she does spirit guide drawings. So this is an aspect of myself, like a 1920s flapper girl. And there's a whole bunch of notes from that, but you can tune into people's aura, who shows up in the aura in that way. I have another one that somebody made for me. I just don't know what I did with it. Where it's a good example of the different layers. Actually, there's some stuff in this book. So this is kind of how I see auras. So I see this kind of layering going on. So I will see this glow. So that's what I was talking about when I could see with my eyes closed, because I could see that glowing layer of the people. And then it comes out in like different, just more layers too. There's some subtleties in it. But that's how I see it. Yeah, and I'll see those magnetic fields and stuff too. I'll see these things coming up out of people or around their third eye. So I'll be able to, I'll see the, it's like a toroidal field kind of a thing. Yeah, so here's an example of another. So you can kind of see here. So you got that layer there, that's like the physical layer. And then this would be like kind of like, this would be more of like the emotional layer if there's these colors in here. And then the mental layer comes in. But yeah, so there's different layers in here of the aura. But these are the meridian systems, the different energy centers. I didn't know there's a picture of the nervous system in here. Ooh, I gotta find that picture. You obviously don't know anything about quantum, brother. Peak Hall. I recommend that you go look into quantum entanglement. I highly recommend you go look into quantum entanglement. Good morning from Greece. It's good to see you. I'm over here about an hour north of Seattle. How do I know Alex and Allison Gray? I just have their books and their art. I do not know them personally. Do you know how many past lives I've had? I mean, countless. That's kind of one of my gifts, is being able to manifest if you want to call it a quantum life. Because it's all happening here and now. So past lives are legit. Future lives are legit, but it's all happening here and now. Yeah, hour north of Seattle. Hi from Australia. Hi. Hi, Ginger, by the way. Did I already say hi? Oh, wait, no, it was not Ginger. That was Andrew. Sorry. Yeah, you don't have to be a scientist with a degree to know about quantum physics and such. Yeah, what's actually really interesting is that, poor scientists, a lot of times, are just really indoctrinated. Not as bad as like history people or archaeologists, but yeah. I went to Cosm and saw them just on the other side of a door, but they were busy. Oh, Alex Gray? Very cool. You grew up in small town Arlington, Washington. I'm very familiar with Arlington. I don't know how small. I'm in Cedar Woolley, so it's smaller than Arlington. I think Arlington's bigger. At least feels bigger. Because sometimes I do sessions up there. I'll do some work there. They have like little metaphysical fair type stuff. You're gonna give up on the cat tonight? Gonna ask again next time. Sounds good. I'm not sure. I'm sorry I missed your question. My cat's good. If that was the question, he was just drooling. He was tired. I think he didn't want to place his head down. He was super, super tired. Didn't want to put his head on the plastic because he was sleeping on. I don't know why he was sleeping on the plastic thing. You know, cats, they like to lay on stuff. So I let him lay on it, but I think it would feel funny on his chin or something. So he was keeping his head up and just like. Yeah, I'll do some healing, Linda. Oh, if you can see the cat, nah, he's out playing around. I don't know. He's up and running around. Hi, Flocka. Good to see you again. How are you feeling? Pure Shot asked, is there anything that I can do to help with motivation? There's a whole bunch you can do to help with motivation. I know one thing, it just popped into my head, and I know like this is just like a cliche, a very generic answer, but working out, like being very physical, creating movement in the body is going to help you stay motivated, help you become motivated. But that can be like, it can be like cold molasses to get that ball rolling, especially these days. So if there's things you can do to kind of like energize you emotionally, like mentally, things that you're passionate about that get you up and moving about, following your passions, because I think a lot of times we don't feel motivated, we don't have a lot of energy because, we're processing a lot in general. So there's a lot we're going through where we're feeling just kind of unmotivated. It's okay to be unmotivated sometimes too. That's important to remember, is that sometimes it's okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe that's, you know, what you need at this time. But if it's like a chronic thing, you know, I would look into what is kind of draining you. Where are you staying stagnant? Why are you staying stagnant? Figuring out kind of like the emotions behind it will assist. Haley asked, do you know if vaccines ruin our DNA? That's a matter of opinion. It will affect our DNA for sure. Andrew asked, are you back doing one-on-ones? Yes, my one-on-ones are up. I will be on vacation next week for a week or so. I may do a couple sessions, but for the most part, so I got coconut water all over. But for the most part, I will be off. But it's open, so if people want to book, for sure. All right, so let me just double check here. What if you're limited physically? That's a great question. So that was just what I came up, that was just the first download that I got. And to mention, there's always a lot of different ways to become motivated. But, and again, this is just another download that came through. The first thing that came into my mind was getting passionate about something, like following your passions. Because we will often think that like we're not motivated because maybe we're not motivated to do things that we don't want to do, right? Even if it might be responsibilities, but you might not be motivated to do it. Maybe there's a different thing you should be doing in that now moment, because the higher mind, the higher self speaks to us in like excitement and passion. It doesn't know limitations. It doesn't know responsibilities. It's just trying to show you as a guidance system, what excites you is where you should be going in that now moment without any like expectations of what that means. That's how the higher mind speaks to us. The ego speaks to us in like resistance, fear, kind of like doesn't want us to do things usually because there's some fear there. So that's the difference there, if that makes sense. Yeah, Qigong is amazing. Eating helps, making sure we're taking care of our gut biome, our microbiome is really important for things like motivation and energy. Paying attention to what's going on in the solar plexus area. So becoming aware of, you know, I would say look into the emotional sources behind issues related to the solar plexus energy centers, because there's likely some kind of willpower issue there. There's some kind of issue with your personal power where you're not feeling motivated. So working on those emotional themes that would lead to having issues in your maybe solar plexus sacral area. I mean, there's all sorts of information on the internet, so follow what resonates with you. Casey asked, when you switch language, is that like talking to yourself or your higher self trying to come through? Yes, they're all different expressions of me. So they're all kind of doing things all at once. It's all quantum. So there's countless versions of me, all doing so many different things, but they'll switch in to express something in that moment in the physical. Because as we add things into the physical, the more layers into the physical that we take action on. So if I'm vocalizing, I'm making a sound and I'm doing the movements and I'm visualizing if I do, and I'm pointing my third eye in a certain direction and I'm flexing my knees. The more layers that you add to it, the stronger it becomes. So sometimes for a certain functionality, they'll come in to express something really quick. Or sometimes it's just to have a message or an energy, it's to express an energy. Yeah, well, let's do some energy work real quick. Yeah, we'll do some sinuses stuff. That's exactly what we're going to do, rock some beeswax. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. Hopefully Sue is still in here. Peachy butterfly, not quite, no. The Akashic records, it's the same idea. Yeah, Krista, everybody is focused on sinuses, and interesting. So that's like the fourth or fifth person. So that's what we're definitely going to work on, is sinuses. Sinuses can be tricky sometimes. And I can quickly touch on the metaphysical sources related to sinuses. Sinus problems. So these are some of the emotional, metaphysical sources, psychosomatic sources for issues with the sinuses. Take what resonates, just let everything else slide. So emotions. So you seem to be suppressing a great deal of irritation. You feel offended by a smell in your environment that is triggering old childhood trauma. Your circumstances are draining you, and you see no reward as a result of your hard work. You do not want to stay where you are, but you don't feel worthy of speaking up and voicing how you feel. Instead, you suppress your emotions and truths. As a result, you feel isolated, lonely, and unloved. You are searching for love and seem to feel that you will never find it. You may be going through a phase where you are reflecting on the past. You do not allow yourself to enjoy life along with others. You disconnect and punish yourself by pushing away the people who love you. You may have made negative association with love and feel offended or threatened when love is shown. You often make everyday experiences harder and more challenging by blocking support that is offered to you. This is a result of a self-punishing habit. Your negative emotions are overshadowing the positive aspects in your life. You may have become stuck in a joyless, self-depriving, and unhappy lifestyle. This could be because you tend to focus on your problems rather than allowing yourself to have fun. You unconsciously feel that you are going against the family values. Yeah, I'm just going to skip. There's a whole bunch more that goes into this. Take that stuff kind of as it, if it resonates. But the key points are what's really helpful in this stuff. So you don't trust people. Why? What happened in the past? You may feel offended by empty promises. Did someone offend you before this condition started? If yes, why? Has this happened before? Is there a pattern here? How did that make you feel? Take this back as far as you need to go. Did either of your parents have the same condition? If so, explore differences between your parents' condition and yours. Explore feeling obligated to take on other people's issues and burdens. Does the sinus problem surface during a specific season or time of day? If yes, explore which season. Explore how you felt during that time. Have you experienced a trauma, such as feeling offended, resentful, unhappy, or resistant towards someone or something? It could also include general feelings of unhappiness during this time, causing you to associate the season with above emotions. Always explore the birth trauma and see the birth section. Was there any pressure on the sinus area? If yes, explore how you felt at the time of the pressure on the sinus. Do you feel similar emotions and issues in your life now? If yes, explore trauma associated with the pressure on the sinus, along with feelings of resentment and anger. Was your mother told to try and delay giving birth until the doctors arrive? If yes, explore further. I mean, it goes on and on. So these are different, just kind of like possible metaphysical sources for this. But it can also be, right now, there's a lot of stuff coming in as far as energies, light codes that are coming in from the sun and from other cosmic bodies that are affecting our physical bodies. And sometimes that can have a big effect on our sinuses and stuff, as our third eyes are shifting and changing and purging, and it can have a big effect on our sinuses. So we are going to, I think that's kind of what's happening for the most part. We'll just work on the sinuses here and see what comes through. So if you're open to receive, I just want you to become aware of your sinuses. Just kind of like bring your awareness in them. Just feel them. You're not trying to change anything. You're just kind of observing. Just observe what happens. If you have a scale for how uncomfortable it is, like if it's like, just give it a scale, like a 0 out of 10, just say this is, if it's painful, like give it a rating, or if it's just uncomfortable, inconvenient, just give it a rating, because then you're going to check in at the end to see how much it's shifted, and then you can check in over time as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to establish my pillar of light, and I do this by opening up a portal to the grand central sun and just pulling through just pure source consciousness down through our sun portal, and then down through my energy centers, through every cell, out through my root, into the center of the earth, into the crystal core. I'm going to stay connected. And then I'm going to bring this frequency back up through the root, up through all my energy centers, out through my crown and back up the source. Randuku ufa matuira ya ki kresi kushi tu cheneti sa atari kasimai. Ti puene maniado tu arshka tursh aye inimishiatu ishi tish urta masiakra kasimara kusuta usua. So no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love, and it will be in alignment for the highest good of all only. And our intention right now is to work on sinus issues, to shift the physical body to the already healed state, because it is already healed. So we're doing what we can to assist the higher selves and doing this for the human. So just feel. So Masikana heku ulku masia tatasi mehektia asanata urtufa mefanataria sakamia ku mia nataria si ki muasa tata ishi mekur ke masata wikni mai ki mai ku umba fashata she mahatisi ya kukuli mahashati ka igruku manshat yaka maharkipra ki mahatu era kasi chasna hati asitani mag ikurusepa ishi yakai kaya ku umaru sahari ke marika siatis masuto arsh ke markuto to jigati nasa ikra ki mai ki muhatu wafania kaya sa nasiata shi anata itiata tatakusa. So I'm going to create a proxy that represents everybody that's receiving in the group today for the sinuses. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a cube and place a code in it. I'm going to ask us to drop any toxicity that's related to this issue from anywhere in the body, any frequency that's related to this. So once it's fully filled up with these frequencies, it's going to go back to the deepest point in space-time that contains the trigger for these issues. And then it's going to collapse that, which collapses other timelines. And then we'll check in afterwards to see if we need to do some more or not. So that's going to happen individually for each person. I'm going to ask their guidance team to assist, and also send a version of me, a different aspect of myself, over to each person to assist with this process and execute it to the fullest extent as I intend it. Hi, Porca. Yawning is a form of releasing. So if you're yawning, burping, coughing, swallowing, farting, or crying, having some kind of emotional response, these are all different forms of releasing. Everybody releases in different ways. I generally release through yawning, through burping, and sometimes like dry heaving. Sounds like, kind of like throwing up energy. So there's me, a release. Another release. So just become aware of what you feel in your body. Like, don't worry about watching me. Just feel your body. If you're open to receive, if you're one of the people that wants to receive this healing work, just feel, observe. So a lot of times when there's not a lot of vocalizations that are coming through, it's usually because there's going to be a lot of releasing. So I'm doing a lot of releasing here, a lot of yawning and burping. today. Okay. How are we on that cube? We good? Do we need another cube? No more cube? Okay. Well, let me know how you're feeling after that. All those that had sinus stuff going on. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that probably thought that was strange. Which I totally understand, but I'm happy answering questions as well. You kissed most of it. It's good to see you. Eye flash. Feel better? Beautiful. Much clearer. Okay, good. What's your rating now compared to when it started? And it's going to continue to shift and move. Your eyes were hurting. That can definitely happen. The pressure behind your eye sockets has subsided. Beautiful. Watery eyes. Yeah, I did a lot. I don't know if you could see on camera, but I was just streaming tears. How do you become rich? Believe that money is not a factor. Heal your traumas related to abundance blocks. Tears do be happening. Hello, what language am I speaking? Was I speaking another language? I didn't even notice that I was speaking light language. I guess I do that. We call it light language, light linguistics. Yeah, tears are a way to release chemicals related to emotion. It's a form of releasing. So it will literally purge emotions, chemicals related to emotions. Sorry. What does eye pressure mean? It's just meaning that there's, it's nothing in particular. There's pressure, and then there's, gosh, I'm having a brain fart right now. There's essentially pressure and not pressure. Those are the forces. And so you're just going to feel pressure on your nervous system, which is very normal when we do this work. Is light linguistics speaking tongues? Tongues is a type of light language. Yeah, it's a flavor of light language. Tongues, get it? But it just comes from different sources. Not necessarily different sources. Just a lot of times people associate the idea of tongues with certain religious groups, right? I don't come from a religious group, so it's more religions really keep things in boxes. That's how they're designed, right? You have certain rules and belief systems and things like that. I exist outside of those, so the data, the information, the light that I access is just from more places. Dream Kitten, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's something going on. Oh, Choo-Choo Train, thank you. Invisible, that's beautiful. The heel train has no brakes. Choo-choo. You're feeling great. A year of tough learning and releasing, lots of crying and releasing this week. Beautiful. Yeah, there's some stuff going on collectively, I think, related to the sinuses. I'm not sure if Sue's here. I kind of intended that she would receive anyway, but hopefully she's feeling a little bit better. I can't speak lately. Jennifer, Abstract Art, asked, what experience did you have to know that you had this gift? I don't quite necessarily consider it a gift, but it could be considered a gift. But it's something that, it's like a part of me. So when you start doing healing work on yourself and you go deeper and deeper into your healing, you start to integrate aspects of yourself, different parts of yourself. And those understandings, those knowings, get reintegrated with them. So that comes with all this kind of stuff. So I didn't have quite an event that happened that I realized that I could do it. It was just that I saw somebody else doing it. And as soon as I saw somebody doing it, I knew why my hands and stuff were shaking all the time. Because I had been doing healing work already, so I was feeling energies with my hands tangibly. And when I would do energy work, oh, thank you for the glasses, Mystical. My fingers would want to do stuff, so my fingers would like shake. I never really seen anybody else do that. Everybody's usually just like this, and they hold things over. But mine, I would follow because I can feel the bubbles of the energy, like the resistance in the body, and it moves with that resistance, so I can feel the energy, and it moves my hand automatically. And I was already doing this. So as soon as I realized it was a thing, it was all on instantly, just all of it. And there's different expressions too. I usually just use a few in these videos and stuff, but there's other ones where, you know, like I can't always do it. It has to be coming through and channeling through me. But like different finger locks and like all sorts of different mudras that are just, you know, come through, all sorts of stuff, you know. But when I'm doing it in group stuff, they kind of just stick to like my defaults and like my stronger ones. Rebecca, do you think Reiki is good and pure? Do you practice Reiki? I have tremors terribly. I think if it serves people, yeah, go for it. I don't think anything's inherently bad. I think things can be used in ways that aren't great. But yeah, I don't really have a lot of negative belief systems. Will this last session help my neck and shoulder? It's possible. Dream Kitten, feeling painfully, or painful, God, I cannot speak tonight. I'm so sorry. Feeling painful, responsibility for a destroyed planet, Lyra. Yeah, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. Kim Marie asked, can you heal stage 4 melanoma? My son-in-law, Dan, was just diagnosed. I'm always happy to try, and I will do sessions for free. So if they're interested and they're open to that, I'm open to doing that. So I've been able to heal people, and I've also lost someone. So anything is possible. Not everybody is ready to be healed, and not everybody will be healed. We all have different paths, and that's a hard part of doing healing work, is recognizing that. So that was a hard one, but I'm always down to assist. I've definitely done it before, Becca. So, but I'm just a permission slip. It's not me actually doing it, right? So it's just a catalyst. It's a permission slip that they've designed in order to help them heal, you know, to help them remember who they are more. So it's not that I'm necessarily healing. I'm just assisting them in healing. That's the way it works all the time. All this stuff. I love you. Book asks, can you tell me where I need to most healing? Hold on. Can you tell me where I need to most healing in order to move forward, please, if you can? I'm not really a reader. That's not really my thing. I'm mostly output. If we were in a session, I could get that information for you, whatever is relevant as I'm guided to it, whatever's relevant in that now moment. But it's not really something I do over lives. There's just a lot of incoming frequencies, and I put up a lot of containers to kind of just keep me in my own energy, so I'm not just tuning into people. But my thing is mostly output anyway. So I try not, I don't like to dive too much into the stories that the costumes wear. Because, right, they're just energies to me. They're just discordant frequencies. So if it's not in alignment for you, with you, your own signature frequency, we shift that stuff out. And then the body heals itself. Thank you for the paper crane. Prayers on Angel Wings asks, can you do a session on helping us remember who we are? Yeah, so that's what all this work's about. That's what everything's about. Thank you, the Ruby. I didn't see the full name. That's all this work is about. Healing is about remembering more of who we are. And it's a process. We're always going to be remembering more of who we are. Even if we were to get like a reading done and they told you who you were in a past life, in another reality, it's still not telling you who you are. Only you know who you are. And that's a personal journey. And everybody's going to find that in different ways. And it's a process. It's a process. So I will never pretend to tell you who you are, but I can definitely do transmissions that are designed to help you remember more of who you are, to unlock things, to unlock memories. But I think being human and allowing yourself to follow what excites you and focus, healing yourself, those are going to help you remember who you are more than anything else. It's my pleasure. Thank you for being here. I know who I am in a big sense, right? I'm still learning who I am. I'm still remembering who I am, right? We can't truly embody all that we are in this physical body. We just can't. Well, I mean, some of us can, but for a lot of us, we just can't truly perceive who we truly are in the biggest sense, because we're kind of, for most of us, we're like a little bit of a fraction of a piece of who we are in this body. We can only fit so much frequency and energy in this body. So it's just a process, and we're always changing who we are. So we get to decide who we are. Leah Cook asks, do you have any suggestions on why some people in life have such difficulty with money? It can come from a lot of different things. Usually we have some kind of programming around money. Sometimes we design our life to be a certain way so that we learn certain lessons. Sometimes there's karmic things, if you want to consider it karmic, whatever, it's not like good, bad kind of thing. It's just like cause and effect. You're just trying to learn different lessons. We're all so vastly different. But I would always start with your relationship to money. What kind of relationship do you have with money? Do you find money to be scarce? Do you think it's difficult to get money? Do you feel like you're always lacking money? Things like that, because that will affect your belief systems. How you define money, how do you perceive money? Is your definition of money that it's easy to have and that there's an abundance of it and it's no problem? That would be a definition. Or if money is the root of all evil, money is scarce. These type of definitions are going to then translate into belief systems. These definitions will end up being a belief system because you've assigned it a value. And that belief system will be projected out into your physical reality, so it reflects back that belief to you. So you can decide if you like that or not. So if you're not liking it, then you can change things within you, and then that'll change the reality outside of yourself, right? So it's not about trying to manipulate the outer reality to get what you want. It's about changing what's going on inside that will then translate into your outer reality changing. It's like looking into a mirror and you see your face and you're not smiling, but you're like, why aren't you smiling? You don't go up to the mirror and try to make the mirror smile. You don't go try to manipulate the mirror and change the face. You smile. You smile. The reflection will smile back. That's how we change those things. Yeah, thank you for the question. Healing for inflammation. You're already on top of it, huh? You knew I was going to ask. You see it and believe it, you can achieve it. Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that resonated, iFlash. What do I heal? I help people heal themselves. Can I leave a tip for healing tonight? Absolutely, Carlos. I appreciate that. You can do that. You can go to the link to my bio or and any of these ways. Yeah, but link to my bio has all that information. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Or you can send a gift through here too. It's totally up to you. I appreciate that. Love from San Diego. Awesome. I lived over in PB and Mission Beach for quite a while. I love that. I lived right on York Court, right on the beach, and that was some of the best times I've had. I drank way too much. Oh my goodness. Back then I drank a lot. Holy smokes. I'm surprised gosh. It was definitely party town. It was a lot of fun though. I was there when you could still drink on the beach too. So yeah, Ocean Beach is great as well. Gaslight. I worked downtown, so I was very familiar with Gaslight. He remembered who he was, and the game changed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Took you a long time to finally find the right way to explain it. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm glad that helped. Yeah, San Diego's great. I haven't been there in a long time. I miss it. I don't know what it's like nowadays. It's been a long time, man. Is a transmission the same whether via a screen or in person, or is it better in person? So there's more tools that can be accessed in person. So I've found, it depends. I mean, it's hard to say, right? Because every session is different, every transmission is different. But the way that I work in the physical is different than the way that I work remotely. In the physical, I work a lot. I can use my own energy field to affect things as well. So I do a lot of walking around the body, and affecting things in the body and in the energy field. But La Mesa, beautiful. I lived in Anaheim a bit. I lived in Chula Vista, and then I lived in PB Mission Beach for a while. I am going to come back pretty soon. I'm considering getting some body work done down there with my nervous system, and that would be a great reason to go and visit and check it out. I'm in Washington State, so I'm about an hour north of Seattle. Always stay at the Surfer when we go to San Diego. Nice. Thank you, Lily. You're awesome as well. Thanks for hanging out with us. From the UK, beautiful. I would love to visit Europe as well. I'm wearing a shiny thing, bro. Barefoot. You like it? I thought it was shiny and appropriate because I wanted to feel not like a lab. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. What is that? That's awesome. Thank you for the feathers, Diane. Love it. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Can you do a healing for limited beliefs? See, that's a tough one because limiting beliefs, like, it really comes down to, and thank you, Carlos. I received that. Thank you so much. And I think Letitia also sent something, so thank you so much. What was I going to say? What was I talking about? Oh, the limiting beliefs, yeah. So the thing, you really want to start identifying those things for yourself. It's really important that you do, so you authentically shift the program. There's a lot of ways to do that. You can literally just reprogram your mind. There's so many different ways to do it. So many different ways to do it. And I think it's really important that you find the way that works for you, rather than having somebody else do it, to be honest, with something like that. So because it's going to change the way you look at everything in your reality. And you want that to happen. You want to be more conscious instead of being like, I have limiting beliefs. Ty, get rid of them. You don't know what you were believing, there's not a practice there. So I would recommend to where in your life are things not in alignment? You want to change something in your life? Okay. Well, start thinking about how you define things that are related to that. And then, is it a limiting definition? Is it a neutral definition, or is it a negative? Is it a positive definition, right? So is it limiting or negative? Then that's what your reality is going to reflect back to you. So I would try to change your definitions to at least neutral. So if you say that levitation is not possible, that's the definition you've given it. And so levitation is going to be a lot more difficult. We have collective belief systems as well. So just on that same note, for things like that, there's certain parameters we've all agreed to that make certain things harder, but it's all possible. So you have to transcend different belief systems in order to do really magical things. Two likes. I like that. But yeah, I would highly recommend to do that on your own. Just get familiar with programming yourself to not be limited by your definitions. Beautiful. La Clel Fadera. I'm sorry, I probably butchered that, brother. Thank you for all you do, Mystical Latina. I'm honored just to be here and talking to y'all. Kimusa. Jennifer Abstract Art asked, I want to learn how to reach a higher state of consciousness. Best knowledge advice that you have. Oh, thank you, Melanie. That's a beautiful. Okay, where did that go? So as far as reaching a higher state of consciousness, recognize that consciousness is things, you're becoming more aware. You're holding more information. You're holding more data. You're aware of more data. You're being conscious of more things, right? So light is information, light is data. So as we increase our light potential, our light holding potential, we're going to increase our consciousness. That's why light beings, are higher up. They're enlightened, right? Enlightened, they're adding more light, more information to them. So increasing your conscious awareness of things without adding negative beliefs to it, adding negative definitions, because that's going to limit you. Anytime you add a limitation, you're keeping yourself from increasing your consciousness. So letting go of limiting beliefs, letting go of negative definitions is going to allow you to increase your conscious awareness. And then you're just experiences, having more experiences, knowing that certain things affect your body in a certain way, knowing that certain things affect your emotional state in a certain way, understanding how your physicality works, understanding how your emotions work, understanding how your mental state works. All these different layers, the mind, body, souls, mind, body, spirit, and emotions, right? And understanding how those systems really function, that increases your awareness. And it just keeps going and going and going, right? You can add more and more layers of things that you're aware of, right? So let's use a video game as an analogy. So if this is a big video game, we'll just pretend we're in a big video game and the higher self is the one playing the video game. We're the one in the video game, and we start out, we have no idea that there's somebody else playing us. We have no idea there's anything else other than what's right in front of our face in the game. We're going around and we're kind of brainlessly doing whatever, but then as time goes on, we might start waking up to things. We might start to become aware, okay, wow, is this a game? We are in a game. This might be a game. And then you become aware that, oh, maybe there's somebody playing me in this game, like, well, crazy. So that's another layer of adding more consciousness to it. And then you start to go, okay, well, now, okay, this is a game. Like, how does the coding behind the game work, right? You can go like, okay, well, now I can start to understand how the game functions from a code perspective. There's all this code. And then you can add another layer and be like, okay, well, you can start to go, okay, well, how does the code get to the computer? You start to actually start to understand how the hardware that allows the game to take place works. So you can learn about, okay, well, how does a computer work? Okay, how does a computer chip work? How does the hard drive work? How does the internet work? And you can go, okay, well, you dive into the internet. Well, it has to go through a router, and it goes, okay, well, how does the internet, it goes through a service provider. It goes up to the satellites. It's another layer. Okay, well, you're adding more and more layers of conscious awareness, and that just never ends. And it's the same way as far as like the spiritual side of things. Like we just become more and more conscious of more and more things. We're just seeing more and more layers from a higher and higher perspective. It just keeps going and going and going, right? If that makes sense. I don't know if that made sense. That may not have been a great analogy. It kind of made sense in my mind, I guess. Maybe not. Here's a big one. Releasing old traumas once and for all advice. Old traumas, once and for all. Finding the root source of it is the way to go. And it can come from this reality. It can come from other realities. So yeah, figuring out where that original wound is that created the trauma is what's going to be helpful. You can do that in a lot of different ways. You can do it through quantum healing. I don't know what else to call it. I don't know if it has like an official name, but you're essentially affecting it through the quantum. You're redesigning the quantum experience because it's all happening here and now. So what you would do is you go back in your imagination to the first experience that you can imagine in this lifetime, the first memory that you have that's related to that trauma and the energetics of it, right? So you go back to, so if you had a trauma in this life, you go back to the time when you had that trauma. It could be anything. It could just be, a parent yelling at you or you not communicating properly, right? Like there's a time that, you really wanted to say something and you kept it in, and that was trauma enough that you didn't express it. And then all sorts of stuff happened because you didn't express it. Well, you might go back in your imagination to that time when it happened and then play it out in a different way. So go up right before that happened where that didn't take place, and then maybe using your imagination, go through, being creative, go through a situation where you change it so it's not the same experience anymore. Maybe you communicated to this person. You were able to express, hey, that what you said hurt me really bad, and this is what happened that made me feel the way that I did, and this is why this happened, and you're able to communicate, and you're just, this hurts me really bad. And then that can actually rewrite the experience, and you can make it even stronger. What I always suggest doing is when I do that, go back and rewrite the experience. I like to take it and either imagine it turning all into code, so like matrix code or whatever, and taking a thumb drive and seeing it all go into the thumb drive, and then plugging it into you, and then seeing it and knowing it's going into every cell of your body, like a bunch of matrix code until you're fully filled with it. Or Or I also will see it kind of turn into liquid light. So whatever frequency is, you're just using your imagination, being creative. Seeing it turn into a certain color, and then going into like a potion bottle, right? I'll see it go into a potion bottle and fill up with this potion bottle, and then I'll take the potion and I'll drink the potion, and then I imagine it going down and into my heart, and then I see it just growing from my heart, and then it goes out and just fills up my whole body with this potion color, right? That's how you can reintegrate these things and change it. Thank you, Diane. But that's a quantum healing technique. Try it out. And if you don't remember when the original wounding took place, like, because I don't remember things very well, my memory is not great in the 3D at all. But when I start to do this, I'll go back to the first time that I remember any kind of like, so let's say that my throat is really messed up, and I'm like, okay, well, my throat's like really tight and there's stuff going on. So I'm like, okay, well, there's something going on with communication, right? The throat is about communication. So I'll think, okay, well, when was a time that comes into my awareness where I didn't communicate properly? We're just sticking to this theme. And then I just think of the first one that comes up into my awareness. Maybe it was a year ago. Maybe it was sometime in high school. Whenever it is, whatever comes into your mind, do that process with that time. And then you'll feel it. You'll just observe it. Once you're done, you're going to feel things change and be a little bit different. And it's going to be a little weird, but then you're going to know that it's working. But that's going to be one layer. We have many layers to these things. So then you go back and, okay, when was another time that I wasn't communicating properly, or is there some kind of issue with communication? Just wait for it to come up, make it up, whatever. It's about the energy. The situations are they're just energies wearing different costumes. These things play out over and over again in these cycles until we recognize what's going on, and then we heal and we go to the root cause of it. And that will shift it. You can also, so another way of addressing it is finding out where that trauma lies in the body. So again, if it's a neck thing, you're going to feel some tension or have dis-ease, some kind of dis-ease in the throat, right? So the energy flow isn't going to be fully flowing through. And you can connect that. So I'm a feeler, so I can feel resistance in the body. So I can feel the actual stuck energy. And it's like in a bunch of layers. They're like these bubbles on bubbles of different density, right? And you want to get to that little seed in the middle so you can feel it. You can just put your hands out and you can feel it and relax as deeply as possible. Relaxing your eyes, relaxing your jaw, opening your heart consciously and feeling what's there, just listening to it. Feel what's already in your throat, wherever you feel what's going on, and then feel what you feel in your hands as deeply as possible, and just feel it all the way through. And you're going to move it, and you're going to release it. Just releasing it, not even meaning to. And then you go back to the same spot once you get a release, and you go all the way through, get another release, you go feel all the way through, you just go through it. That's just another way. There's so many different ways to do it. So many different ways. How do we consciously open our heart? Great question. There's many ways to do that as well. We can do something real quick. I have a shortcut that helps open the heart. But I also would recommend to use your imagination. You can see the center of your chest just getting really, really bright, like a star, just getting brighter. You can stir the center of your chest in a clockwise direction to spin up your heart center, your heart energy center. You can tap it. You can stimulate it, your energy center, by tapping it. You can, just be creative with it. You can intend. You can listen for your heartbeat. Really feel for your heartbeat with the intention that you're opening your heart. You can think happy thoughts. You can do the Peter Pan thing and just like think of something that makes you super lovey, gives you that love feeling. Could be a loved one or a pet, whatever it is. There's a lot of ways to open your heart. Be creative. Am I a Reiki master? No, I'm not. I didn't go through Reiki. I'm familiar with Reiki, but I didn't go through formal training with Reiki or attunement. I've been attuned in a certain special type of Reiki, but not regular Reiki. Jennifer asks, so would most pain be a manifestation of past stored trauma and wounds? Usually, it's a communication. So pain is a communication. It's saying, hey, there's something awry here. Pay attention to this. It's the system saying something's out of alignment. So a lot of times that can be traumas and wounds, yeah. Hey, it's good to see you again, Candice. Illuminated psychologist. Ah, I love that. I've came out to my psychologist. I don't know how she feels about it, but because I have to, you know, like who else do I talk to? Like I'm not going to talk to people that I know about all my issues, like because there's so much, you know, like the kind of therapy that I need needs to be very open-minded. Because the things that I really need to talk about are shit that's fucking crazy, and I'm not going to talk about those things. I cannot speak tonight. I don't want to talk about those things to somebody that I'm not paying. You know what I mean? Like I need to make sure that I'm definitely paying whoever it is. Can I explain alchemizing and transmuting? In what sense, Starry Eyes? That can be a pretty broad or general answer. Because, I mean, it is what it sounds like. It's just, you are, and you can do that in different ways. You can transmute it by, you know, you're alchemizing. Those terms are really just what they are. They are, alchemizing is transmuting things. It's changing form from one thing to another. So I'm not sure quite exactly what context. Mine would think I'm crazy. They think so medically. Yeah, but you know what, dude? Like, you get to a certain point where it doesn't bother you anymore. Like, for a while, it's really tough, you know, when you feel really insecure and it's, you know, it's really uncomfortable and you think everybody's going to think you're crazy, and they might, you know, they might. But eventually, it's only awkward and it's only, like, uncomfortable if you are not fully believing in yourself at the same time, you know, because there's going to be that doubt. If you even care at all, there's some kind of like doubt in yourself. But once you get to a certain point where you know it's just like, it's so blaringly obvious that this is part of who you are and you can't change it and you know it's real, then you just kind of start to feel bad for people that don't believe in it, you know, that don't understand it. And you don't get upset about it because they don't understand it, you know. I use an analogy. You don't like get upset like I'm not saying that the intelligence level or whatever is the same, but you don't get upset with like a 6-year-old for not understanding calculus, right? They don't have the tools yet to understand it. They haven't made the conscious connections yet. So, you know, I don't ever blame anybody for not understanding this stuff. The whole system, this whole place is designed to keep us from understanding these things. So there's like no animosity, there's no like resistance in that way, but it does get really annoying when everybody just there's a huge level of arrogance in a lot of people, especially in the medical system, because they were literally indoctrinated to have certain belief systems, like so it's a tough one. They're programmed. They're literally programmed. So you feel bad for them, and they have limiting belief systems. They have negative belief systems. Am I a twin? No, my mom was a twin, though. Oh, Tina's in here? Good. Hi, Tina. You are amazing, Julie Brewer. Yes, I'm going to do some more energy healing. We'll do it right now. I can't speak tonight, so I wasn't able to speak very well last night either, so I should just stick to energy work. Just shush it. Yes, but as we are more tuned to the collective work of the divine plan, it becomes lighter for all. Yeah, definitely. Yep, that's exactly right. As we just worry about ourselves and heal ourselves, they wake up. We don't change the world around us. It might look like that, but really we change ourselves and the world around. We shift to a different reality where the world around us reflects that back. So the more that you work on yourself and the more you're okay with what's going on internally, like I'm full on woo-woo. You know, like even yesterday, I went to go get my Costco card. I went to go get the Costco card, and these ladies were talking to me, trying to pitch me this executive card or whatever, and they're just blah, blah, talking. And they're, okay, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, I'm a healer. And they're like, oh, okay, medical system. Oh, you work in medical, great, good at it. I'm like, no, I don't work in medical. I'm a wizard. I'm like, I'm a real wizard. And the one lady that would not stop talking, like she was trying to pitch it so hard, her face just went, and she instantly turned and went and walked away. Like, boom, you could tell that she had some like religious programming. The other lady got scared. The other lady was like, got nervous. She got really nervous. She was like, she even nervously was like, you're not reading my mind, are you? Like, and I'm just, no, it's not like that. But I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm over making shit up. Like I'm not, well, I never made shit up, but I'm over like tiptoeing around who I am. It's because that's so annoying. And if they can't handle it, that's their problem. Like, I feel bad for them. Like, that just fucked up that girl's day. Like, you could tell, like, she was like offended and traumatized. Like, you think you're a wizard? I don't know what she was thinking, but she, like, the look on her face, like, but yeah, it's like, but when we do that, the magic around us starts to happen, you know, like when we're just authentically ourselves. I talk about it to everybody now. Like I'm out at the grocery store and I'm telling people, you know, like, because I'll see people, I can tune into people's energy and I'll feel people when they're awake or they're waking up. So I know when to mention things, or I'll see a tattoo. I'm like, oh, okay, they got some magic on them. I'm like, I know that they're open-minded to magic. And I'll be like, hey, I like your tattoo. You're into magic. And they're like, yeah, I'm into magic. I'm like, well, I'm a wizard. I'm like, I'm a real life wizard. I do all sorts of magic. I'm like, I sling magic. I'm a quantum architect. And they're like, oh, okay. And then Spirit's always like, give him a card, give him a card. I'm like, I don't have a card on me. Go get a card, go give him a card. I'm like, okay, fine. And it always ends up coming back around where they're like, that was crazy, you know, that this wizard dude came up to me and I came and I saw his TikTok and he's got all this crazy stuff and he speaks all these spells and does all the blah, 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 you know, like, because that's the magic, right? That's what's exciting about life. Like, why do we want to be so fucking boring? Why are we so fucking boring? And why is it cool to be fucking boring? I don't get it. Like people, like, why are you wearing a shiny gold shirt? Why the fuck not? Why wouldn't I wear a fucking shiny gold? Fuck yeah, dude. Like, I'm over it. I'm over it. Sorry. Get excited. I just want people to be themselves because I see the magic in them. I see the fucking magic in them. And it's just they're sad because they don't get to be themselves. Thank you. And when we are our authentic selves, fully and unapologetically, we give permission to other people to be themselves. It might be subtle at first. There might be some resistance. The ego structure might be like, ugh, because the ego structure is designed to keep them safe where they're at. So they might be like, I don't know, that stuff's weird. That guy was weird, which I'm totally fine with, especially in this crazy culture. Like, I'm perfectly fine with being weird. But the ego structure is like, nope. But they will have absorbed some of it. They'll be like, that was that crazy experience. It might be years down the line. Thank you. But the magic will sink in. Like I remember, like I had a crazy experience before I was really into it. It was kind of like an awakening experience for me. I was just like having a really hard day, and I was driving home, and I drove to I was driving home, and then I was at this 4-way stop. And I started going through the 4-way stop, and all of a sudden I got this urge to they're like, turn left. Like I just turn left. And I was like, okay. And I just turned left, and I went down the street, and then there was a metaphysical shop, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go to this metaphysical shop. And I just pull in, and I just got this like really strong urge to go in there. And I went in there, and it was a whole group, like a women's group, like a psychic women's group. And I went in there, and of course they tuned into me like right off the bat, and they were all over me. They were like, there's a whole group of like witches and, psychic women that were just like tuning in, and they're talking to me all about this stuff. And they're like, oh, can we do this for you? And like, they're talking to me about Reiki and energy work. And I was like, and they did it on me, and I felt it for the first time. I actually felt energy for the first time, and it blew my mind. I was like, fuck yeah. And they had somebody with biofeedback there, and that's my shit. Like, because I came from a logical side. So I was really into biofeedback. I was already into meditation. I'd been taught meditation through my psychologist, actually, through my doctors, to help me with my physical issues, to help me kind of get in that meditative state so I can help with my physical issues. So I had biofeedback. I have an EEG to help measure my brain waves when I do it, blood pressure, heart rate, stuff like that, to just so I can tell what that feels like to be in that state that's authentically a deep meditative state. And so they had somebody there that had all this cool biofeedback hardware and software. And so I got a chance to talk to her about it, and I was asking all these questions. She had answers that I actually understood from a logical perspective, and it made like a really powerful bridge in that information and that knowledge that made me just like the magic was real all of a sudden. So that was like a huge, like, it was such a magical experience. And then, of course, I went back to sleep for a little bit. I hit the snooze button for a couple months, but I tend to do that a lot. I'll wake up and then I'm like, nah, I'm just going to hit the snooze for another year or two. And then I'll wake up and go back to sleep for a little bit. Yeah, I will definitely do that soon. Empress, the EEG. How are you feeling, Tina? How are you doing? Catching up? You getting any rest? Oh, Serene's in here. Hi. So do you think it's our spirit guides that tell us to do or not to do certain things? They definitely influence us, yeah. Or our intuition. It's our higher selves to do that as well. Oh, the cougars took over. That's great. This may be the very first live I've seen that truly feels authentic. Oh, thank you. Like, that is like that's like the best compliment ever. Can I screenshot that? That makes me happy because that's what it's all about. Like, oh, my heart. Oh, fuck. Yep. Yep. That's beautiful because that's what it's all about, honestly. Like, if there's any, like, that's all the work that I do is really focused. Is focused on the idea of helping people just be themselves, because it's so painful to not be who we are. Like, that's the biggest problem, is people don't feel like they have permission to be who they are, and so people are so depressed, and then they get filled with hate, and they get filled with just so much trauma because they don't authentically know that they get to be themselves, and because they don't know that their authentic self is okay. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I just want people to be themselves. Like, nothing is more attractive to me in the whole wide world than people who are their authentic self. And people can feel it. People know it, Like, I'm definitely not perfect, but I hope I'm being authentic, because that's what I care about. I try to be as authentic as possible. Sometimes you don't get seen for that, right? Like, around the real world, people don't really see you when you're authentic. It's kind of a different... They just, can look past you, but you can make them see you by putting a mask on, acting like somebody else. They have no problem. Like, if I wanted to, I know that I could get a huge, a bunch of followers on TikTok if I want. I came from a marketing background. And because I came from a marketing and advertising background, there's things that I don't do on purpose because I want to make sure that I stay authentic. So it's like I'm kind of like an anti-marketer now. So I did it for so long, and it's manipulation. It's magic still. Marketing is magic. Marketing, advertising is magic. It's modern day magic, but it's manipulation. And that's not a game that I want to play anymore. So being authentic is really important to me. Really important to me. So thank you. Thank you for expressing that. That's great, Dennis. They ask, why are you happy all the time? I am like, why are you mad that I'm happy? Exactly. Oh, thank you, Holly. Honesty, loyalty, authenticity, and communication. That's all we need in human, but all others won't. Yeah, dude, it's tough. But we're going to get there, I'm glad that you're not scared of me. I love you too. Oh, Borka. Yeah, it's people get mad because, so that's the thing about anger, is that anger is always hiding, not always, almost always is hiding other emotions behind it. And it's usually guilt or shame. So a lot of times people are going to be upset with people that they're happy because they are guilty that they don't feel happy themselves, that they feel guilty or shameful that they're not being themselves like you are, not being happy. They don't get to be happy. What are they doing where, they feel like insecure about something they did? That's why people hold on to anger for so long, is they're beating themselves up, because anger it's a self-sickness. It's just hurting yourself. Yeah, optimism is beautiful. I know, sad. All right, let's do some energy work. I've blabbed enough and I can't speak tonight anyway. I've had a hard time speaking. Did Tina leave? I missed Tina. It's been so long. Like, it feels like she was out and about for 6 months. That's crazy. I'm glad that she made it back. All right, let's see. What should we do here? Let me see if I can find. Where is my pendulum? Oh boy. I swear it's somewhere. Just had it out. Maybe I don't get to use the pendulum today. Maybe I'll just have to choose. I can use this as a pendulum. Boom. All right. So, what we're gonna do? I want people to suggest different areas of healing to focus on. Wizard lost the pendulum. I got pendulums. We'll find it. I'll find it. It's just a special one, so if it doesn't want to be found right now, it won't be found. All right, back pain. Boom. Okay, so just bust them out. I'll write them down as I see them. Lower back. So root. Sacral. We just did sinuses. Oops, crown. Clear mind. Feet. Oh man, they're coming through fast. Ankle. Right shoulder. Shoulder. Let's do shoulder. Hip. Tinnitus. Lungs or heart, chest, lungs, chest. Fear. Fingers. Heartbreak. Nervous system. Entire damn body. Teeth. Grief. Thyroid. Migraines. I made a big circle this time, so I wanted to get a bunch of stuff on there. Got teeth. Got eyes now. Knees. And then fatigue. All right, fatigue. All right, so I got a whole bunch of them here. All right, we'll see what we get. So what I did is I put them in a big circle like this, and then I'll use the pendulum to choose what is best for the group at this time, or what, because it's not just us, by the way. It's not just us humans here. It is us and then all our guides too. So there's a whole army of beings that are here right now that are helping us out. So they're going to guide us to what is needed most for the group at this time, or what's in everybody's highest good at this time. Be sure to grab some water. It'll be really helpful, especially since there's going to be a lot of energies. Just clearing this pendulum. It has a crystal, so this pendulum has a crystal. So I'm just going to be extra sure to program anything that might be connected to it, and just intending that it will be used for the intentions that we've set. All right, guys. All right, go ahead. It looks like, okay, it's thyroid. Thyroid is first. Oh yeah, I got new stickers there. Thanks for reminding me, Ginger, Anna. We call it light linguistics, light languages. So all right, the first one is thyroid. It's funny, we've done this one before a couple times, I think. So that one always keeps coming up. So I guess that's important. Makes sense. I think we have mostly lots of feminines here, and I know that's usually it's an issue with really sensitive feminines, especially awakened feminines and stuff. We have issues there. All right, all right, so no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love, and it'll be in alignment for the highest good of all only. Our intentions are to heal to the highest extent possible, to shift the body to the already healed state, rather, because we're already healed. We're just quantum shifting into that healed state using our coding for the thyroid for each person that's open to receive. And for those that don't have thyroid issues going on, it's just going to be whatever's best for them. For that, I don't know. Just relax. It's up to you. You can have your eyes open, you can have your eyes closed. I recommend to feel your body consciously. So not just feel your body, but like consciously feel your body. And observe what's happening. Don't try to do anything. Don't try to get rid of anything. Just observe. Observation and being open is going to help you out a lot. If you don't know what else to do, or you feel distracted or whatever, just place your awareness in your heart. Or just use your imagination to see your heart just glowing, and then hold that visualization or that intention or that feeling, because the visualizations, you want to trigger the feeling. Hold that for as long as you can. And that'll help a ton. So I'm just going to connect my heart into the back of everybody's heart. I'm just going to boost it by connecting to Mother Earth and connecting to the platinum frequency in her heart. And I'm going to connect to Sirius and hot pink frequency down into my heart. I'm just going to pump this. I'm going to pump these frequencies into the heart and continue pumping them into the heart. I'm going to create a double. He's going to place his hands on the hologram that represents everybody in this group frequency. And he's going to release clearing pyramids. And they're going to shuttle around the body and help transmute stagnant energy as we do this. All right, so thyroid. What am I now? kukole mahatia satiar no ba kurku heke pe akra kini na tuana na kurka pe sakuju. Feel when certain people come in or they're watching the video. It's so funny. Telepathy is on fleek lately. Like it's so strong lately for people. I mean, if you're paying attention to it, there's no such thing as a random thought. And the way that I interface with my reality, there's nothing really going on in there. So when there's a thought that comes in, I know it's not random. If something just forces its way into my mind, I'm like, what the? And I'm like, oh, okay. It's just funny. I don't know if they'll ever say hi though. They can say hi if they want. I don't know if they're still in. I wish you would. People are trying to send me stuff. That's funny. Good. Confirm. Move on. Okay, cool. So we did that one. Let me know how you're feeling after that. Of course, remember this is just healing all the way around. Like this is just overall healing. When we work with groups, sometimes people have really profound results. But regardless, we're working on layers. So if there's a lot going on, sometimes there's many layers to what's happening. But let me know how you're feeling. I'm not sure what it feels like to have stuff going on with the thyroid. So yeah, just let me know if you have any feedback. I would love to hear feedback over time too. All right, let's do another one. So for the people that are just coming in, what I'm doing is we've written down a bunch of suggestions for different physical, most of them are physical issues going on that we want to bring healing in towards. And then I'm just going to use my little pendulum here and allow it to just pick which one to work on. Sound good? Do I ever do healings on pets? Absolutely. I love working on animals because they are just, open books, and they don't You know, they don't have all these filters up, so they don't fake. Oof. They can't fake it, right? So when they react and stuff, it's a lot of fun to watch. So the root. I just wrote down root, so I'm not sure. I guess we're just gonna work on the root chakra. Root energy center. Need a little grounding. You clear? It's nighttime, so Kitty likes to go out and play. It's when he gets to go chase bugs and stuff. It's good to see you again, Nebula. I'm just gonna call you Nebula. I'm sorry. All right. What chakra helps with the hands and fingers? Well, it's directly connected. It's connected to the heart, but it has its own energy centers. It's also a direct extension of the mind. You know, it's our mind. It's like how we pick things up. You know, that's how we interface with this reality with our mind. We don't have to think about it. We just do. Right now it's 9:27 where I'm at. You like this? I like it too. Thank you. My alien share. I don't know. People like to call it, yeah, my galactic outfits and stuff. Arm started hurting. I wonder why. Likely because the energies are trying to move through, so there's some stagnation going on, or shifting of energies that can happen. Oh, thank you, brother. All right. Thank you, recovery. Ooh, some loud frequencies coming in. All right, so let's do the root stuff. So whatever comes through for the root, if that's healing, great. If it's could be clearing, balancing, aligning, upgrading, healing, whatever needs to come through for the energy center for the group frequency here. You're having tummy issues in general or just from the transmission? If it's just from the transmission that we just did, it can be things shifting around and moving and releasing. You may feel stuff going on in the tummy as you're trying to release. So if you notice, I'll burp a lot when I'm doing energy work. It's a form of releasing. So if you don't know to allow it to burp out, it might feel uncomfortable. If you have other stuff, like if it's more of a chronic issue, there can be a lot of different reasons for it. So right now we're going to work on the root. So right now we're working on the root. Whatever comes through for the root for as far as healing goes. So no harm will be done, no energy will be taken. It's not freely given out of love, and it'll be in alignment for the highest good of all only. Focusing on the root. Whatever needs to come through for the group at an individual level, as much as we can do through this quantum entanglement work, quantum work. So outside of space and time, I think we can do anything. There's no limits. So that'll help each person as much as possible. Britt, ask me again after this transmission, and I will explain how I protect my energy. I don't like to consider it protection, but I'll explain what I do. All right, root. So this can be helpful to place your awareness in that area too. So like the root is like the perineum. Everybody's got a nickname for it. This is like between the anus and the genitals, whatever you got going on, that little space there. That's where the root is. Perineum, however you want to pronounce it. So, and it's red is generally the way that people visualize it. So you can just visualize the color red. You can place your awareness there. Those are just going to be extra help. Luhundo pasar que nato do kuse hatatami harketo suya nandere tu harke papaya kurma petiar hasiaria hulu manatari que senekita ikrokusa paya wichi maniata tere watu kurma ki prasta ku paya na katu kurku matu setani la tata kurma ya sata iskusha tiena tata ya krepe hasi ke pukundo matachek tu wase mai tu ya krosati ro kuna kati kimrosku asam pa fm muani na to kudi ki na katu kurshat ya krekate si tiari saneke. Yeah, the taint, yep, that's one of them. I've got a lot of nicknames. I've heard a lot of them, so I wasn't just going to throw them out. I figured everybody else would. Kimursia piashi na harakiti kishata isi di uli kimani na to kuyarkide wifutu mafia tarshna atwuriak ya halekri anamiyatwe Sena nani anatuea le asulua mama me akiwe pe weshu no sa yetini na tai kuroku iktasana hati tarkimo sua palu kuema yana kiriki kwa mama ole pia cha itisi nada tata kusukure torki mani patukure maraketu saki likitini matukuro kutu ne fata ni matuporosko pe pe kutu para tata masukuri maraketu beatia urse moku para tu shukuri para matia kusum da para kutu kichane tata shiko di morko pasare come rocco di para tu ti ci mumura manina che se c'era sumbara fascia turchia che tu musa che da pumbra sa c'era na pima mani kurto fani ma henisia ta isine kata urto fa mo ata ma shatari na chiasa pe mati por mama tu me densa che ne serio o parni che ta sopua na tu roto kimia tarani kurkui ma farà na somi mani nari ne voto e nari tarstani kurma pare mo fare che vuoto ma che there's mo poi che sharico su puffaro parchi di tutto cosa ma da tash non conto ma torrite ti sinti saturata archi per orchi vasita giuri corsa ma cui pare kumari suorto kuulla kiena jasu tiena torki tätä sakoitjes passo parati te prosta prima la cultura su perché ti fanno che traxata te para mi corri per pasiena con tu posso che para con questa iti di setera che matu da kuatara shaki muasana tarski muarma puharra sarana sakita saturu para sa come curpi farche tu acima ma moma la mano battere che mano maripere su pafare per curti pa ci tu e che perché non mi fai vuoi bere di molto che molto sto a fa menina ni tu ora così ma val che se faccio da curpi che parmi che tu tutto quindi mi racconti come hai tu che nata da stato che era pa raskinantu resu tu Chure masare che ti sarki marku baraka pakena che tu sei marku di baraka puni hasa che ma rosco per un come per condurre che passaggi tu del come era che deve saghe tenen contra che tu sa tu proscia di un tempo di pepo no per pete vuote per un tipo per baraka usine emotional water in shit per pete usane per pete tu su per fatare come che tu di marci per un per pete usane ma te poi tu quel marci marcio mi perché questo marca che considera hashan in che sia nel pete shama piramonto il paese na quei passi che sembra per non per quei passi che su tu kusha baraka per non caru passi che tu me che para che passi per che per rechene poco tu me rakusaggia tante cose para che per punto per fare per shop kudera ti molto per che per che brogo mera kudera di men segre per che ora come va mi pro ma basta per che per che ma che che su mi da shati so ati ma tu shena ma hati pa che passi ma hu mena ti ana sa u ku shane wasa ma che ma per su che passa che ne che c'è hete di shop che per tutta ti da per che mi corto bossi por come fate per che come per che gatti che cosa mi sono rastu ta qui su che non va ti ma scopi per sempre che per che mo che tu si por come fate per che me che sa che anna che che come se faccia fra pa e tu piace le era ti come su per fa in me che su agipa por come per tu quindi lo che parte ti sa che molto fa hasan bari sa tere scemme che caro be fatare me hitirasien yes para sto frasana che asciati Imru fatu fe maniera shakar che me feta intera così amsa per panir per mera che per sorti a fare invece che devo pure per che marchi piccola fate che invece some interesting sensations going on perché manca la camera che da per che sia curi mare che pazzi per che per mo fate per come fa poi per fare per quindi per fare che per curi per su tu c'è che maniera da c'è che da c'è che devo mere c'è che per tutti asa sciutta da sasaria stato tu su rossa per sasa di Embassy. Shura sasa mi sur sembra sasa urti fesse molto sassi. Come per non poter approfittare per come cosa io sciuti per così me fundandere sa sottore fa pe gutu pa ma patu pe ma papete. Pa fene ma mi pesciata fama cul ma fate ma cul ma fete pa fate pa fe cul cu pe me patita. Cimu feata ma per tu ci sciascia. Harsh Maria Sukure poi faccia marsciuta cushua. Here we go. Cruz Maria Sukore na tu sana. Mesha tas wesha niku lui. Almost there. Hi, Ashley. Almost there. Okay, there we go. All right. You get it? Good. Confirm. Confirm. Move on. Okay, cool. So that was an interesting one. That was a little intense. It's funny. Yeah, how are you feeling after? How would you guys feel? How'd that feel for you on your end? Mumble rap, yeah, right. Yeah, I'm happy to answer questions too. I'm happy. Like it, I get that people are gonna not quite understand what's going on. So, yeah, definitely be patient with people that don't get it, because I've been there, right? So yeah, I'm not offended in the least. But do your best to try to, just be understanding. People are coming from different perspectives, and it's all good. No need to push any belief systems here. Ashley, you said, okay, I just made a video responding to a comment saying that light language was ableist. Have you heard this? I've heard people say all sorts of stuff about light language. Honestly, I'm not going to pretend I still remember what that word means. I used to know what that word meant. But I know it's not a good thing because everybody says it like a weapon, like they do say like narcissist or like all sorts of stuff. Like, what is the other ones that they say? Appropriation, cultural appropriation. What are they? I don't know. People always just say stuff, It's because they heard somebody else say it. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend I know something I don't know. Yeah, people like labels, man. Especially on the internet, people, I mean, it's this, people, there's a character count. Like, how like, authentic of responses can we really have through TikTok comments? It's like, yeah, it's so truncated. Yeah, I honestly don't know what it means. How do you want to know that I'm not making it up? I am making it up. Everything's made up. That's the magic. You'll realize that. But you're making it up with intention. It's moving through you. It is. See, there's an obvious misunderstanding in a lot of this stuff. So you think that it's meant to be like a language like it would be with English probably, right? Where words need to mean certain things. It doesn't work that way. It's moving into the right hemisphere of the brain, which is the side that recognizes patterns. It's the side that's intuitive. It's the side that processes data exponentially faster than the left hemisphere. That's usually where we process languages like English. Things need to stay in boxes. It's the side that's analytical. It needs things to be structured, or it doesn't quite understand, but it's slower than the right hemisphere. So this is more about flow. It's more about, it's intuitive in nature. It's more meant to be felt. It's more like music. So it's like, You don't need to know what a song's written about to feel the vibe of the music, right? To feel the emotion behind the music. And you don't need to know what the lyrics are necessarily about to still feel the vibe of the music. And if you do dissect the lyrics, people are going to interpret those differently. So that's the idea, is this bypasses that. It goes through the filters of the individual receiving, and they get what they need. This is multidimensional. It's a universal expression. It's not limited in scope like English languages are. So I saw that ableism is treating someone unfairly because of a disability. I don't even understand how that makes any sense. Why would light language be ableist? Like, it hurts my brain to even try to, like, what? What? Like, they can think we're crazy. That's totally cool. Like, I get that part, but like to say something like that, I'm just like, I don't get it. Yes, Ashley. Yeah, that makes sense. Like praying in tongues. Yeah, it's very similar to tongues. So I like to say that tongues is a flavor of light language, right? Because light is information, light is data. So when we're talking about light linguistics, we're talking about light languages, we're talking about a way of exchanging data. So all this stuff that I do is still light language. It's using my body, my energy field, playing my different energy centers like a musical instrument, changing the subtle frequencies. Like playing my energy field like music, like holding different chords on a guitar, right? They come up in octaves, the scales. I'm playing these subtle frequencies, shifting the energies as they move through me to play a song, to play a healing song or a whatever song. Yeah, tongues is like a genre. Yeah, it's like what data are we accessing? So tongues is usually associated with like religions, right? And when I hear tongues, like it's hard for me to do that. Like, I can't speak tongues if I want to. I just don't access the same information. It comes from a certain limited source, right? Religions are meant to keep things in boxes. They'd say, here, these are the rules. It stays like this. And a lot of religions really are like, the data that they're using is like things like guilt and shame a lot of the time. And, I'm not pulling from that shelf. My shelf is all the love shelf. And there's no limits. It comes from all over the place. Is this against Christianity? Not at all. Not at all. It is without bounds. It's limitless. I would be considered a Christic architect. So the authentic organic architecture, which does come from Christ consciousness, which is a 12D consciousness. It's the template that we were all designed to carry as humans. It's the way that we were originally designed to be, is to hold 12 DNA strands. I have access to 12 DNA strands, but it's been manipulated. So I work with organic architecture. What we experience here is a distortion. It's an overlay to the organic architecture. So things like religions generally have taken that sacred knowledge and they've manipulated it in certain ways to have control. And I don't really want to go into all that stuff, but that's the way that it's been, and people are waking up to that, Yep, direct from source, absolutely. Christ consciousness, Christic consciousness, yeah, buddy. It's annoying. That's very possible as well. And you don't have to listen to. I don't know if you're meaning what I do, because if I do it, it's annoying. I'm not sure if that comment was about what I do. Make it about me. Not about religion or whatever you're trying to talk about. Exactly, the Christos Sophia. Oh, thank you for the burger. I'm kind of hungry. Thank you, ACM. Okay, let's do another. Okay, let's do some more healing. No, yeah, Jesus' last name wasn't Christ. Okay, and it wasn't Jesus either. I mean, that's how we pronounce it as white America. It's Jesus. It's Jeshua, Jeshua, yeah. And there was actually, go figure, there was different beings that played the different roles in the stories of Jeshua. So there was, it's not at all like the stories that we've heard about. There's different timelines too. So things aren't so black and white, but history's been manipulated. That stuff's been madly manipulated. Jeshua was a mystic. He did all this stuff. He did the same thing. He was an architect. He does all this stuff. Look at his statues. He's holding up mudras, but he didn't have to do all this stuff. He just was straight, just you know, he wasn't this type of architect. All right, let's do some more. He's a badass. If you ever you go hang out with Yeshua out in the astral or out there, he's awesome. He's funny, and he likes to party. Like, he's always got like a margarita in his hand. He's always on the beach. I love Yeshua. But there is also the Jesus though too. So there's Jesus as well. So the Jesus, like the biblical Jesus, the ones that people worship, there is that Jesus, but he's not true Christ consciousness. It is like a thought form. So it's not true 12D consciousness. It's a different type of consciousness because they've created it through their worship. So yeah, that version where it's like, I died for your sins, that version exists for sure. Everything is legit, man. But yeah, Jeshua's the shit, man. I always get kind of bummed out too, because I'm like, when he's not around, because I always get like, I'm like, he's always around for people, and I'm always like, oh, like I get a little butthurt. I'm like, why doesn't he ever hang out with me? You know, like I get kind of like, and then I'll like call him in. I'm like, bro, I just want to feel you. Like, everybody's always talking about you. I'm like, I want to feel what you feel like, and then I'll feel him come in, and it's like, oh, and of course I cry like every time, where I'll ask for him and Mary, his beloved, and yeah, they're amazing. Just give me a great big hug. You feel good. Just ask for it. Just to ask to feel them. And then just observe what happens. You'll probably get goosebumps. You probably, I don't know, I always cry. Call that version White Jesus. That's right. That is White Jesus. Mary Magdalene. Yeah, Mary Magdalene's the shizzle. Magdalene. Magnetic. She is the epitome. She's Mary Sophia. You know, she's Sophianic. The Christos Sophia. The masculine, feminine. Have they reincarnated? Yeah, absolutely. They've incarnated. Are they the same person? No. Like, it doesn't really work that way. They're always going to be who they are in this ego structure, but having played those different roles as well. There's been other ones too. You know, like I said, there's other Jeshuas as well. So there's like 12 Jeshuas. So depending on the timelines, people have, and you can play versions. So that's why, like, we all embody Christ consciousness. So that's why when people do a shitload of psychedelics, they think that they're Jesus. Because in truth, we are all Jesus. He's an archetype for us in a lot of ways, because he comes from that Christ consciousness. We all come from that field. We have a Christed self. And in a lot of ways, we carry those codes because it's part of who we are as a human species. So we can all experience being Jesus, you know? All right. I love talking about that stuff just because it makes me happy. All right, so let us see what else we pick here. I get that from calling in and having Yeshua and Mary give me a great big hug. I just ask for them to show me love, to feel them. And as I'm doing that, I feel them in my heart right now. Yeah, Sophia is the feminine principle. It's our mother. All right, right shoulder. That's specific. I wrote down right shoulder. I could have done just shoulders, but I wrote down right shoulder because somebody said right shoulder. So that's the one we picked. So if anybody's got right shoulder stuff going on, we'll see how that works out for everybody. Hi, Tracy. Alright, no harm will be done, no energy will be taken, there's not freely given out of love, and it'll be in alignment for the highest good of all only. Just opening my heart and connecting to the heart of those that are open to receive. And since we're talking about homie, we're going to call in Yeshua and Mary. To assist us. And I'm going to ask everybody's Christed self also to step in, their Christed avatar self, to step in. So the version of you that is your Christed organic self. That's why I wear the gold. It's like a platinum white gold diamond light. All right, shoulder. We're going to call in Gemini to assist as well. So we're going to call in a frequency from Gemini into the shoulder. And then for those that have like pain in it, just give yourself a rating right now. You know, if it's not a lot of pain right now, just give it like an uncomfortable rating. You know what I mean? Just something that you can measure. Because then afterwards you can check in again. Because sometimes the ego mind is like, I don't know. But then you're like, you don't notice it doesn't hurt anymore. That happens all the time. I work on somebody and they're just kind of usually in shock. And then later on they're like, whoa, it doesn't hurt anymore. I'm like, yeah, I know. But you fixed it, dude. Parissintu kushanierra satiura fa pepepengu pepare katsu merefete tepetati chipi anubara. Kimure pa fai hanali katu parshma tu kuli marke perché tu must vera kati ta commerce piata tu shemara tu vera kati porshma pateata rati simbiri shwa. Shubara afera ma paheto pe fanne per così per perché ora aspetta na culpa fanno pa fare che per che tu mai ora per marke te sekadar come forse ma fatta per ora per gata per scendere per fare per anni pe curi ma fatta che marke ta sacite della simbiri shwa per marke per super per no per che tu fare per per svagni per fare per gati che sembra che pare che per non per tu viene per come ora smare per che non per che tu giusto con per ascoltare te certi tempo ora si parla in brocco per mortiazzi quasi mi rafesciato timbre con te a sanare di shatu aveva ne per che fai mar per così già c'è sciura ma handere se ci vuoi già sciura per poi per già sciura da pesce ma cuscia di giro andiera su ha chiamare Harry mi cu sembra fare ti sarciaru o curu come per che sci ma scia tu hai ma da di uri ma da tu ha freme perché vuoi per di mare che non c'ho ma satati atti sa aka pronto fra chi gare si tu faccio ma atti sai tu aka oh god yeah. I don't know why it's so funny when it actually starts to hurt me, like when I actually start to feel it, like the pain of it just cracks me up because it's so obvious and so strong. It's like it's just funny to me. Ki può fare attacchi dei simulati ho fatto one mi che tu asciare tarki ma fatti fuck da tursna da kunat nolani fare parnesto naga nani kurki piata tito shali krai ani kurti motar ka ta ti shukuto shukani market ti ta ka sa ta i kare sumber shikoter ka market per su di market ti ta asecretare ka santi ti sa ta ka tu market per skype ai ush mahafites ue paraya sanati Sarati arena kire kishi araya kirani kurki pensa ka dena matus ne satata satus ne hata kipaka kimua wahale mefera sia harta kidasha kimurte pakete da fafati con puro fafka di marako sia attenzione kima farati pesuki per tu shano krai kurte per no tiro arki masari ti fira pa fakra kimu farta pe farke per se che asha te karas ankas ma che perfetto come fare a tasciuti mi vuoi mare in siriki ora ma vorrei che ero fare ma perché dopo si cade non essere tu scende curve vai mani mani vuoi tu mani con amore non mani che si arriva da fai per now curva ti teta da so ha fascia so arci na fia So people that are new, for people that are new, I release through yawning, through burping, and sometimes like dry heaving or throwing up energy. So if you're yawning, burping, swallowing a lot, gassy, either end, that could be it. Or if emotions are sometimes how people release it too. I burp and yawn just because it's faster and I don't have to go through processing the emotion. I'm gonna take some thumb drive. So I'm gonna take a thumb drive and place a code on it. Plug it into the shoulder. I'm gonna take another one. I'm plug 2 of those ones in there, 3 of those in there, and then I'm gonna run those for the next hour for those that are receiving shoulder healing. Are we good? Confirm. Confirm. Move on. All right, cool. Let me know how you're feeling. Make sure you drink some water. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know, that stuff it cracks me up because it's like when I feel so much of that, it's just like it just makes me laugh because it's so strong, you know. It just cracks me up. Let me make sure I can't speak tonight. Last couple nights I can't speak. I don't have stomach, but I will put it on there since we have now room. So GI or stomach stuff. So we'll use the pendulum to do so. Have I heard of Edgar Casey? Absolutely. Thank you, Reject Joel. I appreciate that, brother. Through the finger, that's weird. Yeah, the mods are amazing. Oh, 222 in here, beautiful. Yeah, how's everybody's shoulder feeling? We've definitely got some more options on here. So there's a whole bunch of different healing topics. So we've got stomach on there. Let's see, do I have fingers on here? I think somebody said fingers before too. Let's see. Fingers, I got fingers on the list. Let me see, I might have one more spot. So right shoulder, so we can put, where did I just see that? Zero pain, better, beautiful. We'll do sciatic on there too, sciatic. So again, the pendulum is picking here. The teeth hurt though. Hi, Sherry. Anything gut health, awesome. So yeah, hopefully this will pick it. For those that are really hoping for gut health. Yeah, we've got the head on here. We've got head on here. I put fingers on there as well. Stay humble. Good vibes. Solar plexus. Let's do have another spot in here. Solar. I can fit it in there. Okay, let me just go ahead and pick this guy. And then I just need a second to just kind of ground after that one. That was a little intense, but I'll pick one. All right. So when I receive, I don't know if it's going to be, I'm just going to share this because it might be helpful for some other people because I never heard anybody else talk about it like this or talk about this. But one second, let me let this pick real quick. Ow. Okay, it picked fear. Ow. What's going on there? Pastu hatanasa. Usta pafe matasa. Usta yakante kia nasarek mea kurata fiatim nakosa. All right, yeah, so fear is the next one. Oh, sweet. Okay. I forgot there's one that I can also take off. Okay. Fear. All right, let me... What was I going to do? I might take a quick break to go potty. So what I would recommend to do, just because I might as well do it now, I recommend to go grab some water real quick. I will be right back and we will do fear. Sound good? I love you. I'll be right back. Less than 3 minutes. But I'm going to do this real quick. All right, that was quick. All right, so before I get started, I wanted to show, I'm gonna have a new toy that I'm gonna play with here that I'm going to make some videos with, but this is like a little consumer level EEG, so it reads your brainwave states. And I'm gonna do some tests with this, and I'll show how powerful the eyes are as far as doing types of like transmission work. So like when I was using the pendulum, I was talking about when I receive, my eyes pulse. So that's how I get yes and no's too. So if you hear me, like after I'm done, I'll go, so like no is nothing. There's just no response. And then the stronger the pulse, the stronger the yes too. So it'll pulse, makes my eyes flash and flitter, like will literally like make my eyes go like this too. I can feel the energy moving through because the eyes are part of the nervous system in the brain. So I can ask yes or no questions, like stops. I can ask, show me yes. My eyes begin to flash. I'll say stop. I'll stop. So that's a no. So then it'd be neutral when I ask these questions. But when I get if I receive energy from other people, it will flash too. So like if I'm receiving it, like a video or something, my eyes will start to pulse when I'm receiving. What causes the head to feel heavy without pain? There can be a lot of different reasons for that. Yeah, I used to do the leaning forward and backwards. I've tried a whole bunch of different ways. It works for me the best with the pulsing. There's also like using your left hand and feeling the energy move through your wrist. So asking, like connecting with your higher self and asking yes or no questions. And if it feels like the energy out through your left hand is like jammed up, if it's like feels like it's stuck in the fingers and it's not flowing through, that would be a no. But if it feels like it's flowing through the hands, that would be a yes. And you can program your body in all sorts of different ways. So there's all sorts of options. I put it on the list, John Cole. I put sciatic on the list. Do I get pain? Yeah, and that's. Oh, thank you, Radiantly. I always have pain. That's just something I experience all the time. I'm always in some type of pain. I always have pain since about 2010. And there's a lot of there's reasons for that. But yeah, so I understand pain quite well. Oh, thank you, mommy. Thank you for the gifts and assisting with the live energetic exchange goal. So if y'all are interested at all, there's like a little, I don't know what it looks like in y'all's screen, but I think there's like a way to just gift for that goal. So for me, it shows 6 out of 12 for the goal. So if you're interested in that, no pressure whatsoever, but I thought it was kind of fun to put up there. Yeah, I absolutely help people with pain for sure too. For some people, it's different. People have different reasons for pain. For me, my frequency is too much for my energy system, for my physical body. So I have to get my physical body to hold more frequency. So I'm working on that. All right, cool. So what did we pick? I forgot. Oh yeah, fear. Thank you, KCT. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, pain is a powerful tool. Like my guides, my higher selves say that it's not pain, it's power and potential. On Earth, we mine pain, we excavate pain, and we alchemize it into power. Because that's what we do here. This is the school of hard knocks. And we are limitless and we don't experience pain outside of the physical. So some of us really take advantage of pain and suffering on this planet because it really helps the soul grow. It really does. It's a fast way to acceleration. We're doing fear. Sumatu fish na hasuar hyanda kureke pafande arshia tu kula ma acha wish. Thank you, Christy. Karandi sitiarta India. Yeah, fibromyalgia, a lot of body pain. Yeah, that's really common too with people who are really intuitive and sensitive as well. All right, so let's do fear. Let's do fear so we can see if we can get a couple more in before I have to get off or before I get worn out. Sound good? I don't worry about anything. I just don't drink it. I just don't drink it. Look into Shungite if you're not aware of Shungite too. That's really helpful. What do you focus on? Fear is stored in the solar plexus areas, the kidneys a lot of the time, but a lot in the solar plexus areas. But again, just focus on your heart. That's the best place to be, and then I'll assist with the programs and the fear stuff. And we're just reaffirming no harm will be done, no energy will be taken. It is not freely given out of love, and it will be in alignment for the highest good of all only. Yeah, I'll talk about Shungite after this. Just remind me. So we're focusing on fear, releasing fear, removing fear where that is stored in the body, or any programs that are related to the creating fear programs to the highest priority ones at this time, in alignment for the highest good of each individual as delegated and facilitated by their highest self. So they immediately go for the liver area, but it's going to be all the way around the solar plexus area, I feel. Say in the back too, so to be in the spine in that area. They're having me remind you that frequencies are stored in different ranges and different areas of the body, right? Because if you think about it, goes lower vibrations, lower frequencies towards the root. That's why it's a red. Orange is a higher frequency than red. Yellow is a higher frequency than orange, and it just goes up in that way. So there's certain frequency ranges that are stored in different areas of the body. They're just having me remind that. Just that's what the purpose of those energy centers or the chakras is as frequency filters. We get frequencies stuck in them because they're kind of they get clogged up. They're small. They have like cones instead of like cylinders, so they get clogged up easy. Might have to do a little clearing on the sacral as well in order to help release some of this stuff. Even the root as well. So fear is stored in all those lower centers, depending on what's going on with it. Tu arshna hasipe akrantari asada ushipamia harkit tu asireti sarape pakana pepe etulma suarte ki muhata bafarto fem no hursuata tisime kurumanta teksumi hafatim rusai wushana su ushisu asafa prafa pema sta fena taria satani ki warto orto fama hanukuni mafia tashan yara tu fefa mafatu pafena tatashi tarsu achimrasita shi me tanara ki fulima ki mu fulima nandara se hachado fe ki ursh ma fetish nya yur tu petekno pegere kutu fugar pokuti per ti chat tu come rotte baietu bartu ma fe tu reshan ki kursh maria tu kushi para fetande pent hande tu ushu hafa ma kuru kufe ki nera tasho harre ma fe kursh pafia Bursono trusha tash di pafanda peculi tati ti mashuti te shuku de parate con masu vete per vena fu ferme pesha ki shine posanti mana katari che non so ti guarda che pafanda per tu di urto fe ka Ciare chitarra in corre masati che in pesce tu hafa te fana tu fe sha yari ale ursh ma kuki ma rishuti archega mi parando so cevara sa chi c'era kusu ka shu ba far ki peshu na yeta in suar al mar ki per faccio fare poco impara fe pedo usha per che penso sa dieta shu ti verrà fatta che per foto sufre lei ma non ho tu guardi ma fuara na ti gana che tu per shu ki per siti per che niente il può fare un po' ma perché per fare da kusa shu ti sana che perché corso frati c'ha su fermento usha riesce tutto che ma che io mi ho dei sapa fe avanti qui fare può fare perché se può sciagnaso so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a kipufa maratufpe che ale ma a black tourmaline a vector equilibrium. So it's a certain geometry. Doesn't matter. I'm going to place it in the front of the solar plexus area. I'm going to rotate it counterclockwise. I'm going to ask it to draw in these fear frequencies. Any fear frequencies are stored in the body. We're just going to draw in any of these frequencies that are relevant to what we're working on now, just to assist another level, another layer. Jurna saie kurse marshia ni kushanar gidnarna moanar tu fata ushangane tu tush ni matata da kusu tu shukutu marja pergasa kiri tina shaghare kursa urse parsta fi marcuni ma tu pikursa tu vedi pet no pevo tu fi fe ma fa ni ti si fe ma ifo pifa ma fi nff ma fu ulo fe fa ni fiti fe ma ufulo pe fa fe ana fi ja fe fa ma na fi rakutu fe fa fe ufi ma shi fi fe ma ufulo pe ya fa reati fe eturia sa mi fi raturia sa tu imane atati kursu ki shina ki situ fe shima tasuma shi ki su che ma sia tati shaki per fermato l'arte me che su he shin crassi corso fa per di crearsi ma scelta di così marca fiato poi chi mu papa tu mi fasciato chi sana che si va tutti per tempo così tu va me tutti fa me darina te chi si di shuma fa el hul imana ni na hana tu shin crassi che si kusha ma te se c'è o si va fa eta me si kuro pa fi crassi ti mar uru mon mai tati su hashene chi morto fa che si mi kusha per ti stato tutto questo perché per poter puti super fagin per marco tutto su tutte che ta cuci marca che sapeva provata ti sannetti su tutte le fatte per un batte che se ma te pesce cu tira secte per sciuto per un cu per dove sacchi dove mesce tutti perché ta ci mamma minuto io sì ma fe ma hasso per sacro che per chi lo passa che tu scegli che chi è nessa che essere tu sa scena ta che su quello ma per che ma fate ya scena con tutti ma sia me fene nena tua nena quale che alle lusa ci fu alle sepa fele un to per che be ai recti se che poi nin tua ana saki ST esatto tu c'è per fare un po' per come che passa che per che io sempre per che per chi nata così ma te che per che ma per un po' per per magari per sa che per fare che non fi tu fare per che tu si che per tu si ma li poteva fare per che tu passi na che tu esci ya ta si sufra sata per fa usta che per fa dice ma sa che so a guarda bara ya tu che fai male per te se non sa tu che c'è che tu sei perfetto non posso correre per non tu ma ti per fare che tu sai tu e ma ya se ti mesce tu questa è super che non per fare shakira che ma tutti per fare che non puoi ta sia che tu lo sai che ti sciò sia non fai quello va tu quando le parole sa che te sciù di ma che te un per tu per battuta per che tu questa per un po' per fare per la stata tu c'hai di guardare sa ma ti sa tu ya ma tu foto e feci tu ta la per te la che tu forse va pakra u fermati a shakira che tu ma per tu perché ti pure sta per un po' per pesce ma qui se ci vuoi se cresce ci su hashna stata da questo per sura sandara kimania kur qui se antasere tu mattorea gumbarsha tarya sakato e muale nimpali pumania tadi ti tu re mashata foto ma fete ashna ufe de bayatu Good. Confirm. All right. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how you're feeling after that. You're most welcome. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not blind. Not yet. Yeah, so what I'm doing is weird, right? It's weird shit. Yes, it is coconut water. It's weird shit. What I'm using is a tool called light linguistics. So I am using my energy field to make subtle shifts in the energies that are moving through me. So I'm making shifts in my electromagnetic field in order to change the frequencies that are being transmitted through. So it's a form of quantum entanglement. So we're working with other people's, if you want to call it quantum coding, their code in order to shift their hologram. I don't do readings. Oh, thanks, JJ. I'm all right. I don't know. I'll accept it. I'll accept that. Let me know where you're coming from, and I'm happy to articulate it from a different perspective, for sure. What it means is I do magic, dude. It doesn't make a difference. It's a form of energy healing. It's a form of energy work. It depends on where you're coming from. I'm happy to articulate it from a perspective that you understand, but I honestly have no idea how into this stuff you are already or how aware you are. If you've got your shields up already and you're not interested in learning more, because it's not worth wasting my time. So, oh, Portland, Oregon, beautiful. So light linguistics is the idea of exchanging information. So light is information, light is data. So what I'm doing is exchanging information. And I do that through different means. I'm using these different vocalizations, but it's not like English is. So these vocalizations are shifting sound frequencies. They're shifting frequencies. It goes straight into the right hemisphere of the brain, not the left hemisphere. So we process languages like English in the left hemisphere of the brain, which is our logical side, right? It's that analytical side. It's the thing that needs to keep things in boxes to make sure it understands. It needs structure. The right hemisphere of the brain is obviously the intuitive side. It's the feminine side. It's the side that recognizes patterns, and it does so at an exponential rate compared to the processing power of the left hemisphere. So this stuff goes straight into that right hemisphere, where things are meant to be felt. It's not like English in the way that we know it to be. It's more like music. It's more like the universal expression of frequency. Everything starts as sound. It's like music. Just like you don't need to know what a song is about to feel, what a song is about, to feel the emotion behind a song, to feel the vibe of a song. And it can have, there's so many different flavors of music. Not one's better than the other. But even if it had lyrics, like people may interpret those lyrics completely different, right? Two different people. So it's more meant to be felt. It's meant to be felt. It's energy. It's vibration. So, and I'm happy to go into it in detail, but I'd rather just do it. It's something that I would recommend to be experienced. Instead of trying to understand it, the logical mind catches up. Oh, thank you, Prince. Appreciate that, Prince M. So what I'm doing right now is that we're calling up different areas of focus for healing. So if you're new to this stuff, or you're just curious, and you have any of these things going on, it would be really cool to hear feedback and see what your experience was after we're done, because it can be really helpful for other people too. Because I know it was really helpful for me when I first got into this stuff. I was just looking into energy healing. This stuff had been way out there for me. I wouldn't have bought into it. I would have been like, what the fuck? So I started out, just going to like really simple things. I started with like biofeedback and meditation, and then slowly worked my way up to getting to light language stuff and light linguistics. But experiencing it is the money ticket. So having experience changes everything. It took a lot of experiences to reprogram my mind too. I was doing healings on other people every day for about a year or two before my ego structure finally let go. My cognitive dissonance finally let go, and I was like, okay, this shit is real. Like, I was literally doing it every day and having results. I was successful every time, and I was still going. The ego structure was still trying to be like, nah, man, this shit's not. Like, what if this happened? But what if it was like? But that could be your. All right. So I'm gonna let this little pendulum pick what area of healing we're gonna focus on. Man, we're working on the energy centers today. Sacral. We're working through the energy centers. All right, so the sacral area. And like a lot can be going on in the sacral. So it might be, or the sacral, however you want to pronounce it. It could be the energy center that we work on, or it could be like pain in that area. No, I just channel aspects of myself. So they might sound like other beings. They might sound like different, all sorts of weird aliens. It can sound like sound effects. It doesn't really make a difference. It's not so much the sound. They're just different expressions of energy, but they are different expressions of me. Yes. Like wearing a different hat. Like sacral cranium? Yeah, sacral cranium. Yeah, sacral cranium. Is that right? Hi, buddy. People wanted to see you. You want to say hi before I do this real quick? People wanted to see you earlier. You drooler. You drooling kitty. Kitty. All right. We just call it light language, light linguistics. Yeah, C3PO, that's very, very similar. Some of them do sound ridiculous. Dude, there's some expressions, there's some different dialects, dude, that sound crazy. Some of them are singing. There's some that come, honestly, a lot of them I don't do because they sound crazier than what I already do. The ones that I usually do are ones that are like a little toned down. Because I'll do ones that are just fucking crazy sounds. Or a lot of them will sing, or do like singing like rhythms, and like some of them will sound like they're rapping. But I'm just like, dude, it just feels, I don't know. My ego is still sensitive. It's still trying to work things out. So I kind of roll with the punches. So we're doing sacral here. Speaking in tongues is a flavor of light language, yeah. I mean, it comes from a limited set of data. Light is information, light is data. We'll see. Maybe I'll let some come through. Maybe I'll let some weird ones come through for this one, okay? So no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love, and it'll be in alignment for the highest good of all only. And we're focusing on whatever needs to come through for the sacral area. Thank you for the heart. Thank you, Dominique. So I just recommend to place your awareness in the sacral area. It's like right above the pelvic area. Go from below, just below the navel to about down there. Here it comes. I'm going to call in the constellation of Scorpio to assist. They're going to flow into the reproductive organs. I'm also going to call in Libra into the hips and buttocks to assist, bring healing, and help move energy. Fuck. God. That hurts. They're laughing at me because I said, God damn it. Yeah, you can fight. I can say what I want, guys. Leave me know. Ma forse tu shiki ta 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 shuku de maro to ta 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 shiki ta 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 hari sanana ta 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 shuku to shuku de ta 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 shiki de shuku de matu ta come sagari hari san ta 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 shuku tu junta de como foi que te que para fazer que uma que se puxa para que me tetia to como shuku de que com para se que com muito isso aqui cha so como de fazer que para fazer que isso como é que é da clac me shuki por ta ufene ma perché non via la andare tu scendere si profa kaele ma tu scia tarife mbarstu har standard takle me kudush pare kum ma fata pe andare shu hanya ma ga tu fishi mette tu per ko per ko poter che tu di mo shuni en no ne imari andare le cotini en ne ma da oculi manino no maniera coti pafiete shassan and ha shanite se Sutrasan kärriken rikita tusta da kurta ma tare qua la rafanen di Ucrestina cesna battimatia Kiitun mandene farun tuosna I krasata parti ma faki shoti po cha hier to shami kata ko kudu ma kudu perske ma kudu per kudu chantara shana hata tu Shukudia mantedi timur ta fa ya kala la mancha ka chu ci parsi un pochino ma che ne pensi ci pripo con di perché ci pripo con per di shak ta shukudia tu ci per un tema fatta ta su crefre che danza churranna rata ya sandesha che tu sanne masa te asa tisima yarando ri mananda to per se ta tu marca ta pensa che te per che mutu per su chu ma ta na si acha Fuma farta sahaki pashna sakur kuishna ima haki akare kisima hirne satusha niema hata ushta titu ma hisite tata ushka isana tata kusema rasta tayena leilam bas anam benai manya mahanya ya tasa is ana samaya itvinkas kise es na nanem kue nasu lepea sulima ni ta di kutin pus unime tuile yana per eu niwa ine tine ke in se ta pe nede ti ati ku le ma tu ini antu ini kaya ku pa fa ni ala ni no ani no koe ki ma na ne ho koe ki masa yeshi esima esiku asi purusna sudi passan datasi tasu hortoma faratasi Kimu farata sata undo pafa sata. Burping, yawning are forms of release, like crying is. Still funny though. Especially when it comes out the other side. Ooh, gosh. I need to wear mouth guards sometimes. I'm about to bite my tongue sometimes. We're good. Confirm. Confirm. All right. All set. Let me know how you're feeling after that. The guy looks possessed. I know everybody thinks I look possessed, but what if I am possessed and I can control it? What am I? I can control. I'm possessed by versions of me. Sheetrocker or plumber by day, or an Uber driver. Dude, I would love to be an Uber driver. I think that'd be awesome. By day, I'm a wizard. By night, I'm a wizard. Or whatever you want to call me. I sling magic. It's very similar to Tourette's. Yeah, Monica. So actually, that's really interesting that you bring that up, because my brother, my soul brother, who's my best friend, so my nephew, they think has Tourette's, and it's an energetic thing. Because when I watch people with Tourette's, it triggers in me. It triggers my stuff. I've noticed this for a really long time. So it's an energetic thing, especially with people with Tourette's. So Tourette's, explaining things from a physical perspective is not the answer to stuff. Recognizing it's energy first. Everything is energy first, and then it trickles into the experience in the physical. So when you say these things are Tourette's, that's the physical expression. I know where it comes from. I'm in control of it, right? You could be perceived as seizures. It could be perceived as all sorts of stuff, but it's not. It's because people don't understand those things. They don't understand it from an energetic perspective. I can use these tools in order to make shifts in frequency. And we'll measure these things. This is not going to be, it's not outside of science. It's just science isn't, it's just looking the other way for a lot of the stuff. It's going to come out more and more, but they're aware of these things. You know, they're just suppressing it. You know, they're just not pushing this information out there because it's really hard for people to digest. But there's all these things. Schizophrenia. It's not that people, it's a legit thing. It's them with their gifts, but they're out of balance. They're sick. They're not in balance with their gifts. They're not in balance. It's the same stuff with everything. It's like we have physical expressions. People that usually have fibromyalgia are very sensitive beings. They're clairsentient. So it can be really hard on them. These are physical expressions. So my frequency is really high. So my nervous system blew out. But that's because my frequency is so high. So I've got cysts throughout my spinal cord. Somebody could call it something in the physical, but I used to not be able to walk. I was sick. They even gave me a 5 to 7 year terminal diagnosis or prognosis. But they don't know what they're talking about. So that's what forced me, essentially, to figure out a way to manage my pain and to heal myself. And through that, you start to heal things from this life. You start to focus on physical things. You heal things from what might be perceived as past lives. It's all happening now. There's parallel realities. But you start to heal these things and you integrate those aspects of yourself. And that comes with certain understandings. People might call it abilities. It's not. It's just an understanding. It's not outside of understanding. And at an energetic level, at a soul level, whatever you want to call it, we understand these things. So when I realized that this was actually a thing, all of that pain that I was experiencing, all of this victim mentality that I am a victim to my body and my body is, what's causing me all these problems, that switched like that. I realized that it's my power, it's not my pain. And once I started to recognize what all this stuff was, this is how I release all that pain, all that energy that moves through my nervous system. If I'm not expressing it, blows out my nervous system. So I have to let this stuff out. Gotta let this stuff out. Tasha, it's really dependent. You can look at the link in my bio for more information. And yeah, but feel free to shoot me an email first and let me know what you're interested in. And a lot of times there's resources that are available where you don't even have to get a session. So sessions are, kind of a treat. But yeah, in the bio, we'll do one more and then I'm going to be done for the night. Yeah, I'm starting to get burnt out, Linda. I get all jacked up too, so it's almost 11 and then I'll never sleep. I'll be up forever. I don't have anything tomorrow though. I have a session or two, but not until later. What do I need healing? I'm schizo, I think. That's usually an imbalance if that's the case. So I would start to try to find somebody that can help you in person. If you can find an energy healer in your area that knows what they're doing, then I would recommend them. Just remember though that you're not wrong for having those experiences. A lot of people will say it's not real. Everything that you experience is valid, but you start to work. There's usually a lot of imbalance in the solar plexus area. It's usually overactive, I believe. And then, just a lot about, you're going to have to detox and certain things to assist. My mom experiences schizophrenia, so I understand this very intimately, and I've worked with her, and it's completely changed everything. She was very, very sick, and every time I work with her, it's like she shifts. Even as I'm working with her, she's going through past lives. She doesn't understand it. She was talking about, I died in this. I haven't told her anything about all this stuff. I just ask if I can work on her, and she experiences everything. She she seizes up, she'll pass out, and she works on herself. She does light language without realizing she's doing it. She's hands are shaking and stuff, and she has no idea. She has no idea what's going on. Let's see. Casey, there can be a lot of layers to stuff. So even though that we're working on these things, it doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to heal these things completely. Sometimes that's the case. I've had people hit me up after doing these group live sessions and say that something's been completely healed. And still to this day, I've had people with all sorts of weird conditions where it's helped them. But just don't get attached to an expectation. Just know that it's going to be affecting it, and in a positive way. And just, if it doesn't get it all the way, that's totally cool. If it helps, just hold on to that that memory that it helped. It went down from a 6 to a 2, try to hold on to how that felt. And then just go at it again, because there's layers to these things. And just like an onion, Serene. And if we don't always get to the root of it all the way, and we still don't address it, those layers can start to come back because that stagnation is still there. So it's like a clog in the sink, so the flow of energy can't move through. It's dis-ease in the body. So if you can really work away through those layers and finally get to that root wound and clear that, then the energy can move through and it won't be an issue anymore. Happy for the moment without payment's beautiful. Yeah, I understand how brutal that is. All right, let's see what comes through. And then I'll let everybody go. Is it as effective for us watching as it is for you actually doing it? I'm not sure what you mean. I feel a lot. I feel a lot. All right, let's see what it picks here. It looks like knees. Knees. I feel like thyroid, knees, inflammation, fear. Those always get picked. So I guess it's just helpful for everybody. I do offer in-person sessions. I live in Washington State, but it would be by request, and it's just a little bit more expensive, just because I get the practitioner room. So it's just a little bit extra. But if I can book a bunch of people in a day, I won't charge extra. But all right, so it's going to be knees here. I'll be coming down. I'll have to come down soon to Portland, Serene. Thank you, Borka. All right, so no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love, and will be in alignment for the highest good of all only. We are working on the knees, clearing and shifting the body to the healed state in the knees, whatever that looks like for each individual, to the highest extent possible, 100% already healed, 100% of all stagnation, and anything that isn't in 100% alignment with each individual is going to be released and replaced with just pure consciousness, with love, unconditional love. I do offer private sessions, definitely mostly remotely. You can check out the link in my bio for more info, or just ty-el.com will send you there. So I'm going to call in Capricorn into the knees. So if you're ever looking for some extra help from in your knees, like to help with some pain and bring in some healing, call in the constellation of Capricorn. And it's even better if you can visualize it coming down from the stars and into your knees, and then feel what you feel in your knees. You know, integrate it with your imagination and feel it as deeply as possible. It'll help. So just for your information, we're working mostly on the left one right now. I'm just gonna make sure my heart's nice and open. Rrnu faccia mara perché tu perfetto mai perché tu brusmena con te paghi non con te per skete andare te share andare cura ma fare no cura pascia ta hofe mai di lui canto sandara si harika sa chasi na beshu kishwe kimo shotasho mai hatia saktasi mata tata busu fale mandoma bimbo mana be harte se kraitu tasa ufa amba fe etish ta si tete ki makuchora ti ora na kusara ti shakara ki sene to shufara pe pe no kute pakine kimo te papashna hasia kaya le kromo gora me asakishane ki timisha kurto porque masuta sana be haswara ti ora arta man fe atu ma Ki mahatu mea to achata questi achati sani. Tu shoot ma tata che si merete per di perché merete per di motivi perché tata ti più solo pa fascia da possa nasue. Rom barram nembo alla urba nandre te satis. Ondure pe papa number passata pe non che perché lo so. Lato salo guardi mato fatto pe posso guai mato che fa per scappare rasta da chi massa. Turza fassiana. Super ma adesso che fai? Alright, now we moved over to the right knee. I love that exalted copper. Is that right? Our knees, root, sacral, all around the solar plexus with the fear. Third eye would be Aries. I mean, I would ask for whatever frequencies are best because it might be something a little different specifically for the third eye. But Aries would be the head and face area. Yeah, it's good for your heart. Absolutely. Energy is good, yeah. If you're feeling stuff going on in your heart, or are you meaning with my heart specifically, or other people's? Yeah, my heart, like my heart rate used to never go under 110. They thought my heart was just going to blow out because it would jump up to 300 all the time. Like I'd be at the hospital, I was hospitalized all the time. And that's, they thought I wasn't going to make it. There was just too much stress on me. But what was I going with that? Yeah, now my heart rate's great. So my heart rate's great. Even when I'm in severe pain, my heart rate's really good. So it's completely different. So I recently had to go to the hospital. I had like the craziest month in September, and I just had to make sure I was going to live through it. So I finally went back to the hospital. I hadn't been to the hospital in forever. I used to be there all the time. And I was really Whew. I was really interested to see like the feedback on the machines, but it was brutal. I was in so much pain. I was like getting electrocuted. Like it was brutal. But my heart rate didn't get that bad because I was so expecting my heart rate to be like crazy because it used to go crazy, and it doesn't go crazy. My blood pressure and stuff goes off the charts, but not the heart rate. I was totally good. Yeah, no, I was perfect. I had to go through it. It was all perfectly designed. I was working through loops, going through cycles and healing it, so it doesn't turn out the same as it did the other times. The loops I've had in the past. So yeah, it worked out. It was really challenging because it was like hitting every trigger that I had. I made sure I really dove deep into my healing, and it did. So I didn't repeat the same patterns. Broke the loop. That's the idea. Yeah, you might feel a lot coming through the feet. I always do, especially when I'm releasing stuff. Oh, thank you, Sven. Yeah, we're working through it, aren't we? Good job. You're doing the work. We can't quit now. We don't have a choice. We gotta just keep going. But that's what we're here to do. We're here to break cycles and to heal. Sometimes, I wish it happened earlier. But I know in the big picture, it's not, it's perfect timing. It's all perfect. Yeah, lots of release. Kinuro kana sakya karashin bish da sina pashiya ta simra ta pukina matir pa kera wushi di indure to sugar right but get puluk mira ka pasaya darni ne kadra sagi murash bira hum barak pakra. There's always people trying to send me invites. Ki murash ta to right papi. It feels like it's the same person over and over again. To arad ti sandire shaka to kun barak pati ta ko samrak ti barak wa sakra bina kun barak tu sakra barak pati ya pansi kada. Chan tu ta shin da hi ta saka ti shenna ko te barasa pari ko de morsu darni makish no kare parat pashikil barak pira apartiba humero peshna hasia teshna sipra fetu anda sikana meheshi cheshna hiru kurandi raka. Yeah, it teaches us a lot, and I'm thankful for everything I've been through. I think we all should be thankful of what we go through. Kurando satire kisia tu ashti asnatu ashia nakutu tu meshikiti banetu kurut pepeshta akuat. Oh, thank you for that. The gift plug, thank you. Do I help people that are being witchcraft? Sure, yeah. I help everybody with anything. It's all just code to me. I am a coder, so everything is just light information, so I can hack it. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Beautiful. Thank you for assisting in that. That's fun to actually meet the goals. So thank you. Yeah, energy exchange is always a great idea because that's just the way the universe works. So the more like if you can find ways to exchange energy in ways that work for everybody, it's always helpful. It just helps. It's just the way that the universe works. But that doesn't mean it has to be money or anything. It can just be nice things and feedback and all sorts of stuff. Likes, follows, sharings, all sorts of different ways to support each other. Oh, Korea, thank you for the wizard hat. It didn't pop on my head. Isn't that supposed to pop on the head? Kiporaki, yes, and not too bad. Thank you, love yourself. 2222. Salty, it's you. What's up? Kitu Burdette, Karandokia, thank you for the rose. Hey, I'm gonna be there soon. I can feel it's you. Now I know it's you. I felt you before. I've been told Stacy. I was like, I like all of a sudden you popped in my awareness. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, she came in. I was like, oh, that's funny. Now I can see. I can feel it. I can feel you. I look like an actor. I don't know about that, but I'll be there next Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday. Hi, Sammy. Thank you. Or Tuesday. I think I'll be there. No, I'll be there Wednesday. We're gonna spend the night in New Orleans again, but this time I'm not gonna get my butt kicked. Hey, Salome. Almost done. We're not quite there. I'm doing good. How are you? Energy healer? Almost done. We're working on the knees right now. Right knee's a little stubborn. Thank you for the wizard hat. Salom. Oh, got it. That'll work. It is a mouthful. Yeah, Nola. That's right, Nola. I always forgot the cool way to say it. Nola. Broadway Steve, yeah, I'll be staying there for just a night. I'm flying into New Orleans, and then I'm gonna be going over to Ocean Springs in Mississippi. That's where I'll be staying to see my lady friend. Thanks. Yeah, I thought it was just, I was like, it's shiny, it's wizardy. Why not wear it? You know, why be vanilla when you can be shiny gold? Thank you for the wishing bottle, Rose Riker. Jackson, Mississippi, beautiful. Almost there. Madison, Indiana, beautiful. I'm like an hour north of Seattle, where I'm at now. Almost there, come on. The right side's a little tricky. It's a little more tricky than the left one. I know, I've been here for a while. Hey, Seattle, give me a follow. I do a lot of like events local too, so like in the Northwest. So if you're into this type of stuff, or even just open-minded, you should give me a follow, and I'll post when I do some events and stuff. I do metaphysical fairs and stuff over in Mount Vernon, Washington. So if you're ever in that area, it's like twice a month. Yeah, I would love to come to Montana. I love Montana. It's beautiful up there. So. Oh, it's in the hip. Hi, Shauna LeRae. Yeah, Rose Riker. It's a small metaphysical fair where I'm at. I missed the there's supposed to be a big one this month in Everett that I usually go to. I'm usually setting up shop, but I forgot. I got behind, and it got booked up. I was like, I hadn't really done any work all of September. I've been out of commission for a really long time. I'm just now starting to get back into doing work. So I was doing my own healing for a really long time. All of September, like the end of August, kind of, and then all of September and in the beginning of October just smoked me. Totally smoked me. But, you know, it's what I needed. Purged a ton, processed a ton, did a ton of shadow work. Yes, now do I. That'd be beautiful, String. Yeah, I want to travel around. Yeah, the song Wake Me Up When September Ends is the one that like the theme for this September. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that, energy healer. Yeah, I mean, I'm everywhere, always healing. We're always healing. I know what's going on when I'm going through those periods for sure. It's all stuff that I designed, so I'm definitely healing myself in a lot of ways. But I always do accept healing. Healers need healing too. 100%. Back on the left leg, I guess. I don't know. I'm just Pinocchio down here with this. Or I guess Pinocchio doesn't have strings. Pinocchio when he still has strings. My higher self. Oh, right on, Prince. Yeah, it's small, but the metaphysical shop that it's at is amazing. The owner is amazing. You know, it's one of the best metaphysical shops. I mean, it's the best metaphysical shop I've ever been to, but definitely it's got to be the best one in the Northwest for sure. I mean, I used to go around to them often, but I haven't in a while, but it's great. Yeah, I look forward to it. Yeah, have a good night. Have a good night. We'll see you soon. You have to make sure you hit up Stacy. Oh, she's got your info and stuff, I'm sure. Oh no, Steffers. What's going on? I like you like that, Ginger? A little icon. Yeah, tell me what's going on, Steffers. Like, what kind of pain is he having? Like migraines, or like, I can relate because I definitely have done that a lot. Okay. I think that was it. Did we get it? Confirm. We're done. Move on. Okay. Cool. Let me know how you're feeling. And keep in mind that the codes that we work with take time. They'll work over time too. You're going to feel a lot of big shifts right away, but just keep in mind it's going to continue to clear and heal, because it's like a computer program. We're uninstalling stuff, we're removing stuff out, and some of it takes time to drain. What bad stomach pain? I don't know if it's I'm not getting any hits. I mean, if it's really bad, like you might be, necessary to take him to the doctor. I don't know how bad it is, right? But when you're in doubt, definitely get checked out. But yeah. Yeah, Karina, if you're interested, I can assist. You can send me, or go to the link in my bio. You can send me a message and let me know what's going on, and we can see what we can do. Good. Did you have a good reaction there, iFlash? Can I help with weird dreams? Yeah, you can ask always, yeah. What was I thinking? I'm kind of like fried. My brain's like fried. Oh yeah, iFlash. So does that help your knees? Yeah, see, that's the thing. Is like, if it depends on where it's at, like exactly, and I can't tell from. Hey, Triana. I can't tell from here, and sometimes it's. Yeah. Not a medical professional when somebody's that sick, I mean, I can always try. Yeah, Jennifer, I work with kids quite a bit. A big part of what I'm going to do, like part of my role, is to be working with kids. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm still I'm setting up. It's happening fast, and I'm not the best with 3D logistics. And I'm not a parent, so I really need some parents that are solid and that kind of stuff to help me. But I know it's going to happen. But I do work with kids. I work on kids for sure, but I am going to be working more with kids and helping them understand, like, energetic intelligence, you know, like emotional intelligence, energetic intelligence, and not letting them, or encouraging them to not let their gifts, you know, go, right? And just letting them be themselves, encouraging them to be themselves. These feel like good, beautiful, felt warm, and all of them were helpful in different ways. Beautiful. I'm overstimulated, Angie. Hi. Yeah, me too. Me too. Trying to bring it back down. Yeah, if you're interested in working with kids and stuff, go ahead and just send me a message. Send me an email. The email is my username at gmail.com, and there's all the sorts of info in my bio, the link in my bio, or you can do ty-el.com, which will just send you to my link tree. When am I back? I'm back. Oh, back on? I'm not sure. I'm going to try to come on tomorrow and do personalized sessions again, like personalized transmissions again. But yeah, Friday nights, we try to do Friday Night Lights, which is just kind of like this kind of stuff. Sometimes we do group stuff. Sometimes I will talk about just different techniques or just answer questions, all sorts of stuff. This really kind of just organic kind of afternoon. Try to come on at like 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Wow, you might, yeah, go to bed. Jeez, yeah, make sure you take care of yourself. Ground. Make sure you can ground. A lot of this stuff will feel and look like seizures too, so I can understand what that's like. But yeah, make sure you take care of yourself. Yeah, my schedule is whenever spirit guides me, honestly. Thank you. Yeah, just mention your, okay. I'll figure out. I got your first names on there. Okay, perfect. Cool. I was going to say, I won't remember your username, but I will. Kids understand more than we think. It just takes a minute for the logical brain to catch up. Exactly. That's the thing. They're living more in that right hemisphere of their brain, which processes data faster. We can learn a lot from them. Once we start giving control over to the left hemisphere, things get like stagnant, and we lose all the magic. We want to at least be, you know, we want to ideally balance them, but you know, they have different jobs, they have different rules. Good night, everyone. Yeah, so I am going to get off here in a bit. I'm getting offline. I can't think anymore. I'm kind of blech. I would, like, my first instinct was to ask for help, and I usually would not, you know, I would give feedback, but that was my first instinct. So is, you know, if it's that bad, to ask for help, to get checked out, because sometimes that's what you need. But it's always good to ask, you know, either way. I appreciate, you know, coming in to ask, but sometimes it's really important to remember that we're physical too. So we're not against Western medicine. We should be working more closely together. And hit me up. I'll be happy to help. But yeah, so this is what I do. This is what I do for work. So if you're interested in this stuff, you're interested in a personalized session, if you want to focus on something for healing on yourself, you can go to the link in my bio and you can schedule something. But really what I focus on, like what my specialty is helping people embody their higher self, like integrate their higher self, kind of as quickly as possible. So that looks like healing, that looks like activations, and that looks like upgrades. So an activation is like triggering a remembrance, is the way I like to look at it. So me doing all this stuff was activated within me, and it all just comes back. You don't have to think about it. It's something that takes place. It could be like new vision, you know, it could be all sorts of stuff. Your clairsentience could get really activated, or, you know, all sorts of stuff. And an upgrade could be like, if you're already clairvoyant, you got your clairs on, we can make it stronger. There's always more ways we can upgrade your personal gridding system and your energy centers, and there's so many different things. But I work directly with the higher self in order to get you where you need to be, whatever that looks like. So I don't work with other beings. I don't go through and make those decisions. So that one is usually the most popular option that people get, and that's called the frequency upgrade, or the chef's special, if you're interested in that. But otherwise, there's other options on there too, like more organic sessions and whatever you want. And if you're not sure and you're not interested, you know, you're just curious, send me a message, send me an email. If you have questions about this stuff, please send me an email and ask, because I would have loved the opportunity to ask people about stuff when I was first getting into stuff. I was just a sponge. I just went into everything I could, and I was just like in shut up mode. I was just shut up and listen mode for a really long time, and I would have loved that. And I tried to reach out to people, but they never really got back to me, so I was kind of bummed out. So with me, I will get back to you. I will do my best to get back to you, and most people don't hit me up. You know, ask questions. If you don't believe in this stuff, ask questions, you know. Do I believe I'm a prophet? No, I don't even know what that means. I'm a Thai. That's who I am. I'm a human being. I'm a limitless being human. But I love y'all so much. I try to do this every Friday at 7:30 p.m. I'm going to try to do it next Friday too. Well, even though I'll be in Mississippi, we'll see. Maybe not. And yeah, hit me up. Yeah, I love you so much. I appreciate you. I post the replays on YouTube. You can see the replays on the link in my bio. You can go and the link in my bio, and there's some extra, the recent replays. I'll put this on tomorrow for there. I can't speak to it. I'm toasted. I am toasted. I haven't been able to speak all night. I know I don't predict people's future. I love you. I love you. I love you. I appreciate you and sending you all so much love. And hit me up. Hit me up. Yeah, I'll do events soon, Ruda, for sure. I'm going to do some really cool, fun events. And I'm going to do some on my own, for sure. Because I need to catch up for being out for a month and a half. I need to catch up on doing a bunch of work. Love y'all. Bye. And thank you to my amazing moderators. Thank you. You do so much work. I love you so much. Thank you, Ginger. I don't know who else. Bork is in here. Not sure who else. Sammy is in here. I love you, Sammy. I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody else, but I love you so much.